Hi everyone, welcome to the Patch Us In podcast. It's your favourite host, Hamish, joined by the second and third favourite hosts. I'll let you decide what order that is for each of you. I've got Dom with me.
Hey guys.
And I've got Hugh with me.
Hi guys.
He had my tone of voice going way down when I said Hugh with me. That disappointment coming right through.
Were you talking directly to your mum when you said your favourite host? Because that's the only person that would think you were the favourite host.
That was weak, yeah. That was terrible. Don't worry, guys. It will get funnier than that.
Yeah, you can see why he's the Bron Medal, you know.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking good. You were talking directly to your mother when you said that.
Anyway.
So it's been a wee while. I think that we've started every single podcast the same way. Like, it's been a wee while since we've been on.
Been
you know,
ages,
I think it's just because it's so difficult to get us all in the room at the one time or somewhere.
It's kind of like the Beatles now. We actually hate each other so much that
we've got our own solo project. And stuff like that. Fighting over royalties. Sparky's mine. I've slayed so many Sparkies that I think I own that.
I've got all the bodies of Sparkies behind me.
Yeah. Just a pile of
massive
Sparkies.
Massacred pile of Sparkies. So, Dom, tell me what you've been up to this past wee while.
I have just been working, playing some games, watching some stuff, but
that's it. It's always done. On to me.
Okay,
no,
go ahead.
I'm delaying that as long as possible.
Because you know what I'm going to talk about.
No, I just know it's going to be a load of shit. Now shut up and let me talk.
Yeah. Just been trying to catch up with a lot of things. Like I've noticed, especially, I don't know what it is with June. June was like the month of everything has to get released. There was so much content that's came out at once that I think I got overwhelmed. Me and Angie were just like, do you know what? We just watched Lord of the Rings Extended Edition. And we're like, yeah, we should do that. So we ended up just watching all Lord of the Rings movies.
That's a very good procrastination option. Like, do you want to watch new stuff? Let's watch some of the longest old stuff.
Do you know what was really
what's good though?
When the Two Towers, I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that in the cinema in 2002. And you go, that was 20 years ago.
I thought that was 2001.
No.
9/11.
That's for the people in the back.
Do you know what's funny though? Like 2 Towers is probably as long as one of the Stranger Things episodes for season 4.
Yeah, do you know what? Probably.
Yeah, fucking hell.
We're really on Stranger Things already.
No. But that's a jump for later. That's a
but,
joke.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like great just to sit back and just watch that and kind of get lost in that, old. Oh, say old.
Mate, it's aged so well though.
Yeah, like it makes me worried about what's happening with the Amazon stuff because, when they take adaptations of especially Amazon that take adaptations of stuff that have been old or they've remade or they've done a sequel to, it always sucks. I don't think there's been anything that they've done. They've done things well with new stuff, see like The Boys, Invincible,
and
anything like that.
Stuff that they're allowed to have carte blanche changes to, if you know what I mean.
They can do subtle changes, they don't need to stay directly to the story and that. But especially with The Boys, it's like
The Boys
it's
is completely different, isn't
it? Yeah, so it's like...
It's much better.
But with this, it's like, they're kind of limited to... They'll be limited to what they can do and, but it's a classic. See when you hear the music and stuff, and I'm sitting it's me and Angie watching it, and she's quoting all the words and stuff, and I'm like,
that's usually what you do.
Fucking nerd. That's what. But no, actually, it was great doing that.
The thing with that as well is Tolkien's kind of estate are very precious about what people do with it and stuff like
They're
that.
They're very Gollum-like, aren't they?
I think that's why Amazon picked that fucking blank bit where he didn't write about. There was a big period of time where he was like.
And then this happened.
Stuff happened, but here's the important stuff. So
shit went down.
Let's pick this bit where he didn't actually write it, and so we can just make it up. And that could, it could go Game of Thrones season 7 and 8, or it could go Game of Thrones season 1 to 4.
Yeah, it could be
5 and 6 were kind of weird.
Yeah, or it could be like Lost season 1 and 2, or season Lost to 1 and 4, and then there was a time that they were in a cage for a while, and they kind of then polar bears. It was weird. It was
I remember that polar bear. That was strange.
Yeah. That was in the. I can't remember. But again, you're just worried in case something is groundbreaking as that. It gets.
Yeah, you're hoping that
they don't George Lucas it or
Yeah, you want them to show it the respect that it deserves.
Yeah.
And honestly, see those things. I never expected any Amazon TV show about Lord of the Rings or any Lord of the Rings shows ever. So I'm just going to go. All right, it's like the same with the Halo one. All right, cool. I'll watch it. If it's shit, I expect it. Mm-hmm. If it's good, fantastic. Like,
I think you just need to look at these things as iterations of it's that person's interpretation of it, and that's their story about it.
Yeah.
It's not a democracy.
yeah, and if it's good, fucking bonus. But like, never expect these things to be better than the source materials.
And it also shouldn't take away from, like, it's not as if this new Lord of the Rings show is going to be shite. Oh, well, that's it. I can never watch any of the movies again.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
Well,
It
we'll
doesn't
never
touch
watch the
them.
Hobbit trilogy again.
Yeah.
It could have been a hell of a lot better, but it had
should have
some
been 2 films.
It had some cool bits in it though.
Yeah. The
Look at us, tangentially away.
the Hobbit, what was that one? The Tolkien edition of the Hobbit movie is pretty good, where they basically
They cut out like the love triangle and all that shit.
That
and
love triangle did my head in, man.
See, the thing is, like they said to Evangeline Lilly, like, she said, I'll only be part of this if there's no bullshit love triangle, like common trope.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, no, there won't be, and then they just edited the fuck out of it so that there was, and it's like,
I watched that Lindsay Ellis, the
Nostalgia chick.
She did like
her.
a whole series about Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, and she was saying that the original Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring movie had like 5 years pre-production. They did everything they could to try and get it to where it needed to be. With the Hobbit, it was going to be Del Toro that did it, Guillermo Del Toro.
Yeah.
But he pulled out last minute to do.
No, it wasn't
or he
last
was kicked off it or something.
No,
like
it wasn't last minute. He's like, guys, I can't wait any longer. It
was
like,
something he had to pull out, and then Peter Jackson was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to make enough. I just want to produce.
yeah.
Got to the last minute, and they were like, right, you have to. And then he had fucking weeks or months.
Yeah, I had Andy Serkis sort of come in as doing his directing, because he originally the Gollum scene. That's the first thing that was shot. So then after he was done, that was him back behind the desk and sort of fixing everything else, which is crazy.
So it's studio greed.
Yeah.
It was bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking
Shocker.
about?
Aye, so enough about the old stuff.
What about Dom? He's old.
Have you seen any new stuff? Have you and Angie watched any new stuff that's out?
Yes, jumping on before Hugh talks about it, we caught up with Stranger Things.
You may as well just leave now, Hamish.
Yeah, we just might as well.
I think that's one of our classic clips.
Spark and
Many cans.
Spark again.
We caught up with that again. It was trying to watch everything, but I think we just sort of go back and watch, catch up stuff. We finished from season 4 all the way up to the end of Malcolm in the Middle, and I'm like, oh, do we start season 1 and remember them when they were wee and teeny and had squeaky voices? But it's crazy how a show like Malcolm
podcast.
Yeah. Hi guys. It's strange when you watch a show where, or it's I think it's very hard to find a show where every episode is just under 20 minutes when you've watched it. You don't have ads, you've not got Sky One like we have, or Americans have free free adverts.
The advert breaks,
Scrubs was bad for that. You'd always see where that cut happened. But when you watch it 20 minutes, you're like, man, that was good. And you sit there with Malcolm, and we've started Frasier, and it feels like the exact same thing. It's like, oh, that was good. Fuck, you're stuck in deep. And again,
stuck in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, and then I was and I've got the 80s with Stranger Things. I'm like, oh, I'm just hitting every decade.
How hard is it to watch this show one after the other though? Because each episode is an hour and a half long.
Yeah, so
it's wild.
I
think it varies though, isn't it? It's an hour and 15.
It doesn't sound like something that you would binge though, multiple episodes a night. You could binge it maybe every night or every couple of nights watch an episode.
I think, especially with this season, so every time I watch Stranger Things, every time I've finished Stranger Things, I'm like, right, that's it, stop it. Don't make any more. I think you've kind of nailed it on the head. And with this, I was like, wow, I'm so glad they actually continued, because this story is really interesting, and it's, I don't know, I don't think I've ever seen a TV show do this so well, where they can introduce 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 main characters come in to play new people, and you immediately either hate them so much or you love them so much.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre where you can have all these characters they've been there this entire time and they've just shown up now. Or they give off that presence where it's oh, I don't like that guy or that girl. I'm like, oh.
They actually get some kind of response from the emotion.
But it's immediate rather than just, it'll take me, after the second time I watched it, the third time I watched it, I really like this character.
Because the characters are cliches that but also better.
Yeah.
They're characters and also cliches.
A familiarity where you know what the person's going to be like, but then they expand on it.
I'm going to ask Dom a question that you won't get. we could do without the Russia subplot. Almost completely.
It feels like
how would Hopper become Red Guardian, mate, if he wasn't in a Russian prison?
That's
that's
the
Andrew
whole thing. That's true. He must have just stayed in that one set, like
just film around me.
As much as I love Winona Ryder and David Harbour on this show, like you could have probably cut them out.
They're quite a weak B.
Yeah, there's the thing. Everybody wants the Hawkins story. That's it. Everybody just wants to stay in Hawkins because the bad guy's so fucking good this time.
Vecna or something?
Yeah, Vecna, who he's got like a story that's interweaved with everybody throughout the last 3 seasons as well. And they get the people that are in the other 2 stories, you're kind of like, oh, hurry up. I want to get back to see what's going on here. And then you find out more about the project that brought 11 to Hawkins and stuff like that. There's so much information as well.
It's dense.
Yeah.
Like, again, when they released the trailer and showed that Hopper was alive, you're a bit like, well, cheers. Because, like, when they first opened in the first episode, it's like showing, like, he's there, I'm dead, but he's not. And you're like, well, that was clearly, you spoiled that already. Well done, guys. Like, but you knew he was going to be alive anyway. But,
I know, but trailers give away way too much these days. Like.
Yeah, and I've heard that the new one for part 2 it's got a lot of spoilers, and I'm like, right, I'm not going anywhere near it because I don't know how I managed to avoid spoilers for so long, but there was one moment in Stranger Things where I was like, fuck, are they going to fucking do this? And then I was like, you fucking had me. You fucking got me good. I was like, wow. But it was a great moment. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad I didn't get spoiled for it, because spoilers after we finished it.
Spoiled.
Just everywhere.
You're a spoiled wee cunt.
The absolute, I'm rage because I'm like, I'll take that for Dom, but not you. Anyway, I get spoiled on TikTok. I was going through TikTok and I saw a clip, and like I swiped off it eventually, but I was like, I've seen something I probably didn't watch. But yeah, mate, the production values in this show are fucking immense. They brought back fear. Like the last 2 seasons weren't that scary. Like the first season was pretty scary.
Yeah,
I guess the mystery. I think it's the mystery they brought back, because they brought in a bad guy who you're like, oh, how the fuck are they going to deal with this? Whereas the last 2, you were kind of like,
11 will just
scream at this and blow it the fuck.
Yeah.
So there's an actual sense of danger.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really think
danger
that from
things.
Hugh, because Hugh's a wee pansy.
Yeah. But the other,
afraid of like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
This is going to come back to the boys as well. A couple of the characters are so much older now and look so different from when they started, that this was maybe like 6 months after the last season, and the boy Will is like, 2 feet taller, voice deeper, and like...
Well, is it not going to be a time jump forward?
No, it was 6 months. It was a 6 months time jump.
Was that 6 months? Really?
6 months.
I thought it was a year.
I thought I heard there was going to be a big one.
No.
In this, after this break.
Oh, who knows? Like, but like at the start of this season, it was only 6 months, which for some of the characters was fine, but some of them hit that fucking.
When you're an adult like Winona Ryder and stuff like that, David Harbour, then yeah, you'll look pretty similar. But for the younger actors, of course, yeah.
David Harbour lost a lot of weight for this as well, I think, because he's in a Russian prison and stuff like that. He's got to act like a lot more emaciated. Some of the new Russian characters are pretty funny.
Yeah,
but
tell me this: is there any connection between the Russian storyline and the Hawkins storyline? Like, if you were to completely cut out the Russian stuff, would there still be like a coherent Hawkins story?
100%. Aye. From what we've seen so far, there's nothing going on in Russia that would affect the other storylines. The only thing it takes the adults away
out of they can't help deal with it, kind of thing. But it's nice when everything ties up nicely. So hopefully,
because they're obviously going to come back at some point and join the Hawkins team, and so
rendezvous,
and it'll be fun because David was always fucking great in these shows.
Yeah. He's always like the heart and soul of it. He has a really good sort of scene where he talks about with his like family and stuff, and like how he doesn't deserve happiness, and everything he touches turns to shit. Because they talk about like the severe.
It's called a millennial, mate. That's all of us, isn't it?
He talks about like how when they were dealing with like Vietnam and stuff with like Agent Orange, and how that affected families and stuff, and it's like, because they don't really touch about that in America. Like they go, they are just like, war veterans we don't really care about. And it's like, but they don't understand, like, dealing with that stuff. They weren't, sure what it was. They're just like, it's just chemicals, but not knowing that you should be like wearing the hazmat suits and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Not going to get into it too far, but my favourite Anthony Bourdain quote is if you go to Laos, you'll want to go fly back to America and strangle Henry Kissinger with your bare hands after what he did to that country, dropping like hundreds of shit on it. But like you just want to go back and strangle him with your bare hands, and I'm like, I've wanted to do that for a while. Like, he's 97 or something like that. He's not going to stop me.
not going to put up much of a fight.
stop me. Just turn to dust.
He's a ghost now. But yeah, mate, how good's like season 4 is much better than 2 and 3. I think this is the strongest one after season 1.
Well, I think 2 and 3 were just more like light-hearted and a bit of fun. Again, like, they're trying to capitalise on the 80s as much as they can.
Mate, have we not into like 2000s and late 90s nostalgia yet?
No, you don't want to touch that yet. It's too cringe.
Because we still say that that's like 10 years ago.
But I did this to Sinead. We were like sitting talking about 2000s, and I was like, the 80s to the 2000s is what the 2000s are to now.
Yeah.
And like, she was like, oh, you fucking broke my brain. What the fuck?
That's true.
But we don't see it that way until you really think about it. So
Yeah.
I don't think it would hit the same
Until the people
nostalgic chord with viewers.
until the people about maybe 10 years younger than us get as much disposable income, then there'll be more nostalgia for that time period.
Yeah.
We get GameCube minis.
Oh man, see when that
The
happens.
size of the disc's going to be in that.
But apart from that, me and Angie celebrated our 2-year anniversary as well, which is
Oh, congratulations, guys.
2 years.
She managed to be with you for 2 years.
I don't know. What's that about? It's not strangled me at all.
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 times.
We've been doing this podcast for 3 years, So
I know.
Yeah.
You're committed to us.
So that's what all I mean is we got in there first.
But yeah, like,
What did you do for it? And
we just went out for dinner. Went for a nice fancy place, and then see when you go out to those. I mean, you guys will understand. Like when you go out to like a nice restaurant and they serve you food that's all like miniature size, but it costs you like triple the price and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if I'm like, I don't know if it's coming from a background of like, of like so many kids and that you don't really get a chance to go out and see those types of places, because how can you take like, 7 wains to a place?
Yeah,
or
you want
run
bang
about?
for buck. At that
Yeah,
point,
you go to
want a big
McDonald's
giant
or
plate.
KFC, just shove the chicken in their face till they stop bitching. But when you go to places like that, the food's always quite rich, and you go, oh, that's teeny, and you eat it and you go, I'm actually quite full. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah. I've never actually been anywhere that posh.
Yeah, you usually just go, they looked it up and down and go, nah.
No,
Not an egg, son.
I just feel out of place.
You're wearing tracksuit. You're wearing tracksuit, sorry, I'm afraid.
Dragon Ball t-shirt, what's going on?
I'm afraid we don't have any tables tonight.
I know this is slightly off topic, but we went out in Leeds for Slam Dunk. This was going to be one of my things. I went to Slam Dunk Festival.
Well, we're not on you yet.
We all dressed up. We all dressed up except for Jason, who wore a Super Saiyan t-shirt. And we went into this kind of nice pub and stuff like that, like to get drinks. And we're all like dressed up, nice shoes on and stuff. I had shoes on and stuff.
Not flip-flops.
Jason's just standing there with an 8 feet tall Dragon Ball guy on his t-shirt because he's pretty massive.
Yeah.
He just looks so out of, see, because he's so big as
He
well. He
already
just looks
sticks
out of
like a
place.
sore thumb.
And no one said anything to him, obviously, but he was just like,
Because he
"What are you
says,
gonna
like, get me angry, I'll turn Super Saiyan. He's like, he actually might do that.
do?" He's like, what are you going to do? Kick me out?
That is true. Speaking of Dragon Ball, I got to watch the new one in a sort of hacked way, I would say. But it was funny. Well, it was funny because, like, see when you watch dubbed movies or anyone that's done subs to it, and they kind of make up their own dialogue, I'm like, this guy's kind of got it right. Kind of looks like that would be a sentence, yeah. And then it's like Piccolo-san, and it's like son of Piccolo. I'm like, no, that's not right.
You're actually like translating it for the translator.
It says you can kind of see. Okay, all right. But it's like weird. See, like I don't know if any of you guys remember when back in high school, back in the days when you still use VHSs. That's how old it is. Where people would have like movies from like America that hadn't been released over here yet. I had 3. One was Shrek, because that was gold dust. I remember everyone was wanting to see Shrek. So there's this amazing movie called Shrek, and I'm like, oh, we watched it. I remember me and Greenie watched it about 5 or 6 times, going, this is amazing, fucking love Shrek. And what was the other one? Scary Movie was one.
Oh, nice.
Because I always remember the
Scary Movie.
PG-13 joke being different in the UK and all these other jokes. I'm like, what is going on here? Like when I watched the UK version of it. I'm like, I don't remember that as being PG-13. Like, it was supposed to be like when she turns around, but that's a PG-13. She turns around and it's just a fat guy's belly. And the guy falls out the window. But in the version I've seen, it was like dog nipples. It was really disturbing. I was like, oh god, so that weird. Yeah, and I was like, that's weird. So
a weird cut.
Yeah. But I'm glad they changed it because I remember just still like,
it's a bit too much.
But there was like, it's just when you have those sort of days that you go, oh, the shaky cam in the back. It's clearly
you get cams.
The cams, like you remember how they used to
People
look.
used to stand up and like walk, and you'd be like, "There's a wee guy walking to the toilet."
And then you're just like, "Oh man, like why don't they do stuff like that nowadays?" And you're like, "Oh well, because it's shit quality. A lot of people just drag and drop their movies on clouds now." And you're like, "Hey,
mate, all I do now is like, I'm like, is that 4K? Is that UHD? Is that HDR10? If it's, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. Get out of here. Like, no, it's HD. Like, fucking HD. I'm not having that.
What is this, year 2000?
My dad was giving me, he's like, just give me the movie. I was like, no, I've got a better version for you. It's got HDR. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
You don't know or care.
It's good.
The colours pop.
And I watched Sonic 2. That was the other thing.
Is it good?
It's alright. It's alright.
I'd say it's the same place as like Sonic 1.
Like, I enjoyed the first one as a stupid kids film.
Yeah.
Is it just the same?
Exactly. I would say just the same. Like Jim Carrey's Jim Carreying up. Idris Elba's Knuckles is great.
Did he say, "Hello, Sonic, I'm Idris Elba"?
He said it's knuckling time.
Has anyone watched Morbius yet?
I watched Morbius. Yeah, that meme is listed as Morbius. Have you seen the Breaking Bad cut of it? It's so bitch. And the crowd.
Does he actually say it's Morbin time?
No,
because like I've seen so many memes and I'm like, does he?
No.
I think it was like, I don't know if it was like a mistranslation or someone doing it as a joke.
Yeah.
But there was like a shot of it and it was like a subtitle. It's Morbin time,
yeah.
but it doesn't say it.
I've seen it. I've seen one that's like the Chainsaw Man like manga, and they're in the cinema and they're just kind of looking at the screen and it's like, it's Morbin time, and I'm like, is that a fucking real clip? Because if it is, the horrible thing about that is now they think people like this film.
Yeah, they released it a second time in the cinemas,
and it made
because
no
of
money.
all the memes, and it made like $80,000 or something like that.
And then that creepy weirdo Jared Leto like had like a script on like a wee clip video on Twitter, and it was like,
it's Morbin time.
It's fucking Morbius 2. It's Morbin time, and like no. You just don't get it. We hate it.
It's terrible. It's not particularly a good movie, but
if we get Morbius 2 and we do not get Dread 2, I'm done with like Jared Leto.
Dread 2.
Yeah, like
isn't that not going to be a TV show?
I don't think
that's
so.
what
if it doesn't have Carl Urban in it, I'm not watching it either.
Yeah. Do you know what's so strange? I forgot Carl Urban was in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, so that's because he's blonde.
Yeah. And he speaks like, I'm Carl Urban. I was like, oh my god, that is Carl Urban.
Carl, you can't use your real name. We can't use that take.
I think his name's Eamon.
Yeah, he's the blonde.
Eamon.
He's the blonde guy.
He's Rohirrim. Yeah. He's one of the Rohirrim.
Rohirrim.
Rohirrim of Rohan.
Rohirrim.
Rohirrim of Rohan.
Yeah, them. Oh, we all know the Rohirrim of Rohan. Hamish.
Good.
But because of that, like Shadow of War is on Game Pass. And I downloaded that and played. I've been playing some of that.
They're great games, man.
Because, like, do you know the thing is, I played the fuck out of Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah,
I loved that, and I'm so glad that I've kind of stayed away from types of games like that because it now kind of feels fresh to have that Arkham Asylum City.
Yeah, I'm all over those types of games, and that's why I haven't played it. It's because when I beat like Ghost of Tsushima and stuff like that, I was like, I'll play some
and it's like nice to have sort of like a different take on, like it's a new ring, this is a better ring, a blue ring, like ooh. And I thought Andy Serkis was in it because Gollum shows up for a wee bit, and I was like, that's not him. I was like, well, whoever's done that is pretty.
It's a real shame that Warner Bros. Absolutely fucked that game on release, because like that was one of them new IPs. You're like, ooh, PS4, Xbox One was out. We got a new IP, and it's Lord of the Rings. But this is strange, and it's actually good.
Yeah.
And then they were like, watch this. We're going to really fuck this up.
Let's do what big companies always do.
They went, how much money can we squeeze out of this single player game? And people were like, well, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah. And no one did. Nobody did.
No one did. Then it went in Game Pass, and that whole thing was changed, and it was actually pretty popular.
Yeah.
Like, they changed the whole economy in the game, like they did with Battlefront as well.
Yeah.
Like, they changed the whole economy, and people actually wanted to play it.
But it's cool. Like, if anyone's not played it, like, give it a bash. Like, I'm really got into it as well, and yeah, like, Angie's away trying to find like Shadow of Mordor, so she's like, I want to play the original. I'm like, cool, because the story, I remember the story being pretty good. Like, the original one.
No, absolutely.
No, it was good, man. Like, see, I was a big Lord of the Rings geek when I was younger. I still am, kind of, but like, they actually took characters that were like mentioned, like Celebrimbor and stuff like that, and you didn't get a lot of backstory about them, but then they've fleshed it out, and suppose it's canon.
I think it is. I think it's canon. I think it is.
This Ranger's pretty cool as well, because he's just Aragorn.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, hey, he's not Aragorn, right, but
He's kind of.
he's Aragorn.
He's a little bit.
He's as close as you can get to Aragorn without playing like Lord of the Rings.
He's
Return
the,
of
he's
King
the
or something.
yeah, he's the corn version of Aragorn.
Aracorn.
I like that.
If he's the chicken nuggets, they're well better than real chicken nuggets. So.
That's bullshit. Get off this podcast.
Get off of that.
I'll fucking say it right now. Corn chicken
Put your
nuggets
sandals on and get this.
are better than fucking McDonald's chicken nuggets.
That's just wild.
Well, chicken nuggets from McDonald's aren't particularly good anyway. They aren't really.
Alright, Dom, I thought I said something controversial.
No. Like, I can remember, like, this is Kev might kill me for saying this. So, like, because he worked at McDonald's for years, he was like, man, stay away from chicken nuggets, man. I was like, why? He's like, it's just disgusting, man. If you eat too many of them, it makes your balls hurt. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, supposedly it's like all the estrogen that they put into the chickens that cause that. I'm like,
I don't believe that for a second, because that's not how estrogen fucking works.
but see, the thing is though, Kev had a baby girl like recently, so he's like, see?
Kev's like, I fucking told you.
See? Estrogen and my balls hurt and I have a baby girl now.
Turned all my sperms.
Did they ever
into
mention
girls.
why your balls would hurt because you take estrogen?
I think I did say to him it was probably because like you kept putting these balls near a microwave in McDonald's. I was thinking the radiation would do more than estrogen in your nuggets.
Yeah.
That's a weird... I'm clapping that. Kev, explain this to us.
But yeah.
Anything else though?
Nothing else, man. But see, when Hugh's telling like what he's been getting on to the week, I'll remember something and I'll just interrupt, you know.
Do it, because
That's fine.
I kind of need interrupted.
I was actually going to interrupt you earlier on when you were mentioning Scrubs, because I've been watching Scrubs,
Yeah.
but I've been watching it on Disney Plus, and they've changed a bunch of the songs.
Oh,
Up
yeah.
here are like, you know, pivotal moments, and I'm just like, it's just not right. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, they don't have the licenses, but Amazon do.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
So see if you watch it on Amazon,
Amazon.
you don't have to pay for it. It's on Prime. So like you can. That's why me and Sinead kept the DVDs, because we were going to get rid of like box sets.
I've got it on like my server and stuff like that anyway.
It's just annoying though.
Because I was going from like Obi-Wan to, and I was like, oh, Scrubs, yeah. But then it just takes you right out of it. But sometimes you're like, I don't remember this song, and then you're like, oh, that's why. That's a totally fucking different song.
Because they talk about that in their podcast, Scrubs
right.
Rewind, and they go like that. It's like, what can you do? Like, you know, licenses wise.
Disney are not interested in paying for the like.
Even though they have all the money, they're like, nah, we're not going to pay whatever.
Disney of all fucking
literally have all of the money.
people. Yeah.
Oh, not some of it, not a little bit of it. All of the money.
Anyway, I did exactly what Dom did.
All right, cool.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's right, our anniversary.
Go on.
Did I already mention I went to Slam Dunk Festival?
Like,
Yes, you did.
several times.
You
mate,
did.
yeah.
Did I say it last week? Oh, last
We
time.
did last.
When was the
No.
last time we recorded?
It was a wee while ago.
It was a couple of weeks ago.
Anyway.
We didn't talk about Slam Dunk.
But you mentioned about Jason's t-shirt.
Yeah, he's super
right.
signed you something.
Slam Dunk was a lot of fun. You should.
So how many
A lot
dunks
of
did you
fun.
slam?
We slammed so many dunks, man. Actually, there was the merch stand. There was a basketball hoop. Yeah, I was going to say pole. I was like, board? No, the hoop is a bit you talk about.
That's the
yeah.
main
How to tell somebody's white?
Well, they were like there was a couple of like band members from the smaller bands there like playing basketball, and like Jason bought a t-shirt and then was walking by and they're like, hey, big man, try and get a fucking slam dunk or whatever. They said,
Try and dunk the ball.
Aye, dunk the ball. And
Fucking hell.
Jason threw the ball, right? Tried to like swish Kobe it in, and it went over the fucking tent, man. Like he lost the ball pretty much. It went over the fucking merch
Went
tent.
to orbit.
They all just like, and he was wearing Shaq trainers as well. And, like they were just like looking at him, and he was like, "Sorry, guys."
I mean, does he not realise that if someone asks you to dunk, you're not meant to like throw it anyway?
I know, but
He was trying to do a layup, but then just laid it out to space.
I'd love it if he just went Kobe and just fucking threw it fucking miles away.
It was like that old, was it car insurance advert where you had the football players? It was like the 7-a-side charity match, and it's this big fat guy, and he's like Cantona, and he kicks the balls.
Has it?
Has it? And fucking just miles away, and he's like, yeah.
Oh mate, it was so good because he just kind of like walked away like, sorry.
Sorry, boys.
So one day festival, is that the future?
Yes, mostly because I'm old, right? Fucking hell was I fucked up the next day, and so was Jason. I sent the boys photos. I think you got a photo. Do you see them? And Jason just looked like a wrinkled old mess, and he's like not even Jason 30, isn't he? Something like that. It just looked so bad. And then we went out into Leeds and had a couple of drinks to make us recover. But the festival itself was great, man. Like a lot of nostalgia bands, Sum 41, like Sunfire, and then newer bands like Electric Callboy. Fucking great. I feel like rock, punk, metal. It's a great festival.
Yeah.
I do not understand how we managed 3-day festivals before though.
Younger and full of drink, mate.
Younger and full of drink. I was pretty hammered.
I think it's just it's the lack of it was like the excitement of seeing all these bands. Like there's bands that you really want to see, and then there's like you'll go and see these new bands and be like, they were alright, and then you see them headlining the next time, you're we'll go and see them again.
Yeah.
But now
you're not going to lie in a tent dying if you're like one of your favourite bands are on. You're going to get up and you're going to drink and you're going to go and see them. So.
I lay in a tent dying a couple of times at Tina Park. Like,
but you're lightweight though, so.
And no, I've never been described as lightweight in my whole life.
Have you ever seen a band at a festival? You're like, they were amazing, and you went to seen them like maybe playing like the garage or somewhere else, and went, they're not as good as they were at a festival, and then the other way around. Because I had that experience last week.
The other way around, yeah. I've seen like quite a few bands like in wee places, and then at festivals are not as good, but you kind of understand that they don't have enough time to set up. And
do you know it's kind of the opposite? We saw Chasing Status in the tent, and they were amazing because it was darker. They're a drum and bass group, like it suits their style. There's more strobe lights and stuff like that. And then the next year they were outside during the day, and it just did not. And their music did not go down as well because there wasn't an enclosed space for the bass to hit and stuff like that. And it just kind of felt flat. Like I saw 9 Inch Nails at Leeds Festival, like 2013, and it was flat because their bands are meant to be played in darkness.
Yeah, so that's who I went and seen Wednesday.
30.
9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails. It was like so bizarre because I'd seen them at Sonisphere, 9 Inch Nails, and they were fucking rotten. I came out going, oh my god, that's Trent Reznor. Like, mate, I thought you fucking knew how to do music. What the fuck's going on? And it kind of looked sad, and I was like, oh, poor Trent.
So wait, they were shite on Wednesday?
So, they were when I see them at Sonisphere, they were not very good, and I was like, maybe they're not that good. And it's the 9 Inch Nails are Angie's favourite band, and she was like, can we go? I'm like, yeah, because we were going to go down to not Network, we're going to go down south to see it, but they mentioned they were going to play Glasgow, like they released that. I was like, fuck it, we're going to see that. What a gig that was. Like, honestly, I was like, that's night and day difference, like having something enclosed with like that type of band. Yeah, no, it's definitely insane. And he actually looked happy. I was like, it's weird thinking like this guy sings like, he's like, oh, Glasgow, you guys are really good energy, and like, you know, he's like, then music sort of the lights went down. He's like, but now it's to bring this all the way the fuck down, and everyone's like, yeah. I think he was like, what the fuck? Glasgow, let's be depressed now.
Yeah, depressed.
They were, but they were fucking great. Like honestly, and it's so bizarre to have that like experience happen the other way around, because you'd think at a festival it would be, you know, but saying that Sonisphere has that kind of, it had that kind of enclosed space where, same with Download and all that, or any other sort of festival there, where the speakers are located, sometimes you'll have that bounce, that echo.
It depends a lot more on where you are.
And it can suffer from it. Like Soundgarden, I remember them sounding terrible when it Download, and then the closer we went to, like, I think to the right hand side, the better they sounded. And I remember going, what the fuck is going on? And it's just the way weird. Music travels, and it sounded great afterwards.
Best band I've ever seen at a festival was probably either Pendulum or Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters were absolutely out of this world at that festival. Mostly because their music is designed for that fucking type of like arena.
A vibe,
yeah. Like, or like just a big like fucking crowd. They're good at that.
I would say probably the Prodigy.
Ooh, I've never seen
the Prodigy being like a fucking Download.
I saw them in Glasgow but
they're great.
Metallica, they were pretty fucking.
Yeah, Metallica are really good.
The worst, David Guetta.
Oh really?
Yeah. Were you not there? You were
I know.
there?
I just didn't know why you think that'd be the worst.
Because he was just awful. Like, he never played any of his hits, which is the only reason you go to see David Guetta.
Yeah.
Play Titanium, you cunt. Like, he was playing like 30 seconds of a Calvin Harris song and then switching it up to something else and then switching it, and people were just getting kind of.
Aye, it was more like of a
Boredom.
DJ set, not like a DJ's famous songs set.
May as well just stuck his fucking album on and he'd have walked off the stage and we'd have had a better time.
People would have enjoyed it more, yeah. Nicki Minaj, she wasn't great.
Oh, she was awful.
She was pretty
she
bad.
got booed off the stage.
Yeah.
Glasgow, not Glasgow, Scotland in general was just like...
Scotland is a country. Fucking boo Minaj.
At Tina Park, it was like she made everybody wait half an hour in the rain.
Yeah.
And then when she got on stage, she was very clearly miming and just not having a good time. And then, like, as soon as she tried to speak to the crowd was just like, boo, get the fuck.
Him were my worst band. Him were terrible. They came like Alexi Leo, just like... Is it like, not Alexi Leo? No. That's fucking Children Bodum, sorry. Whatever his name is.
I can't remember his name now.
Yeah. Douchebag.
I know the guy. I mean, I saw them at Download down in Donington.
Yeah, they weren't particularly good. I don't know if it's just a case of, bad... Maybe just like not feeling it, but they were. Like, I think I still put that up as there as one of the worst performing bands. And I've seen a lot of like shite on festivals.
Billy Vallow.
Yeah,
Billy Vallow, there we are.
There always is shite at festivals. Let's be honest. There's never been a festival that's just like amazing set list, start to finish. But
yeah, and I mean it's hard to get like festivals, like 3-day festivals where they're all must see bands.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest. Like,
although it's the worst thing ever when there's like two conflicting bands that you really want to see in different stages.
Yeah, that sucks. I think it happened at Tina Park where Jimmy Eat World was playing.
Yeah.
And I think it was Crystal Castles. Remember Crystal Castles?
Yeah.
They were playing and then you
Crystal
were like,
Castles?
I'm fucking off to see Crystal Castles. And I was like, but they haven't played the middle yet, Hamish. I actually tried to go find retro games in Leeds because I try and do that when I'm around, try and go to like shops. I couldn't find
Does England get different games from Scotland?
No, but you want to find these games in the wild, Hamish. You can't just be an eBay buyer. So I went and found this little stall and like he had like FIFA 2004 for like 18 quid.
Is that good?
No.
I was going to say, I remember seeing them for like 99p.
Like he had a lot of stuff and it was all extremely overpriced and it was all shitty quality and stuff like that. But we found a vinyl. We found a Bring Me the Horizon vinyl for like £7 or something that just came out. So, success. Also, we got drunk on Saturday night. And like, I was like, I'm going to check my eBay and see what they're trying to offer me. I bought 2 very expensive PS1 games.
I thought you said you didn't want to be an eBay buyer.
I don't, but when I'm drunk, I'm fucking good at pressing buy now, man.
Comes out of them.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I've always wanted to own Klonoa for the PS1.
Oh man.
What?
What's that?
Are they not re-releasing that soon?
They are re-releasing it soon, yes. You're right.
Oh, why have you done that?
Explain.
Klonoa is a platformer for the PS1.
2.5D.
It's fucking... I've got the second one. It's a great game for the PS2. The first one's meant to be even better. And it has shot up in price over the past couple of years from somewhere around 40 to 50 to over 150.
Wow.
So I got drunk, saw a really good condition one and put a bid in for 100 and won.
And you got it.
And then there's another game for the PS1 that I've really wanted. This one isn't getting remade and it'll probably never be remade. Legend of Dragoon.
They literally just announced that today.
No, never. But like, even if they did, I'd still be happy. It's a PS1 RPG. See, when Final Fantasy 7 came out, everyone started trying to make RPGs, and Sony just made their own Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, so
it's meant to be really fucking good.
It's a shooter.
No, it's an RPG.
Is that not a shooter?
You're thinking of Panzer Dragoon.
Ah, right, okay. There we
go. Again, it goes for over 100 quid. I got it for 100 quid. So
add that inflation in.
Is that a win, is it?
I see it as an absolute win.
It depends if you get 200 quid to spend on games.
Yeah.
Also, I took a load of extra stuff I had to CEX and up to my GameCube collection a good bit. Bought some Pokemon Colosseum.
Nice.
Killer 7. That's really expensive on the GameCube. That's out for like the PS2 and the GameCube, and the PS2 version's like £2, and the GameCube version's £25.
Just less copies of it, or?
optimization
on the GameCube. The GameCube was a more powerful console than the PS2, so like came in 2 discs, mate, 2 mini discs.
Remember disc swapping? How annoying was that, man?
Rogue Squadron 3, the one no one I think really played. I think.
Yeah,
I definitely played some Rogue Squadron, but not the third one, I don't think.
I played a lot of the N64 and the first one on the GameCube, because that game still holds up, by the way, visually.
But yeah, those discs were tiny.
Is that the one where you've got a squadron of rogues, eh?
Yeah, there's just loads of rogues. Like from X-Men. And a squadron.
And that I would play.
They'll call you sugar.
I also got another Persona game, so
nice.
I'm just getting all the Persona games, mate.
All Persona that you're not.
What else?
What else? I watched Stranger Things season 4.
We've talked about
great. And I've also, he's just dying for me to talk about the boys.
No, I don't want to go too much into the boys because Dom's not seen it.
Season 3 of the boys.
Might even do a wee separate boys.
I will not spoil this, but Anthony Starr deserves a fucking award, man.
He deserves all the Emmys, all the Ennies, the O's, the P's, the I's, the E's, Q's, every single award, man.
He deserves his easy tops.
He plays a man on the fucking edge, and like you could, like every time he's in a scene, me and Sinead will talk about, like, you're a bit tense. You're like,
you're kind of on edge.
Oh, I was thinking that in season 2. Like he was just like,
because everyone's so presence. Everyone's so mean to him, so he's on the edge. So
there's a scene where Sinead actually shut her eyes and went, "Eh," and it's not the gore that's in this season.
Oh right, okay, yeah. There is some pretty spectacular gore though.
Oh, like even like that first episode. Oh, for fuck's sake!
And it's like 10 minutes in, and you're like,
it was like Christ. Eating dinner at the time, and I was like,
hope it wasn't the bangers and mash.
No. Do you know that was a set? That wasn't CGI.
Yeah, I've seen like the behind the scenes guys.
There was also a couple other. I think it's when. Oh God, I don't want to ruin it. When Butcher kills someone.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's
brutal,
pretty,
man.
Yeah.
And do you know what my favourite scene is? I think it's everyone's favourite scene. It's when Butcher and Homelander are talking to each other, but they're so the same. They have the
two sides of the same coin, really.
Attitudes, and like they both just want chaos, while everybody else is like, no, let's quit. No, let's not.
Let's try it a different way. No, it's so spectacular. It's really good.
They're just pushing it as far as they can go. See, they're pushing as far as to see how far Amazon will let them take it. I read a lot of the boys' comics, right? Mm-hmm. It's not very good. Like,
I think it leans too heavily on like gratuitous violence and stuff like that.
It's like sexual violence every second page. And the characters aren't good in it. Like the characters aren't like Homelander in it. They're not very like the
they're
Homelander.
Not 3D characters, you know, like because it's on a page, obviously. You know,
the Deep is still fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean, a wee loser, it's so hilarious. A-Train, just that actor's really good because you kind of feel sorry for him, and then he does something to make you hate him. It's just so well written. It's such a fucking good show. Like I think I watched Stranger Things and The Boys, and I was like, wow, like this is at a level now where like these aren't even franchise shows. You know what I mean? This isn't Star Wars or the MCU or anything like that. These are like new things, like new IPs that have turned into something amazing.
Yeah.
Like the writers for The Boys have done a way better job than the comic book writer, Garth Ennis. Yeah. I don't even know if he's even involved in writing it anymore.
Because he says he just hates everything comics. He's like, I fucking hate it. Like when you write something out of spite, you know, you're just
we get it. You hate it. We get it. You don't have to write 150 fucking novels. Volumes.
I'm kind of on the one hand glad that they had released like 3 episodes at first because I was like, yes, let's get into this. But now I'm like this Friday coming up. For when you hear this podcast when it's edited 6 months ago, that's like episode 5, and there's only 8 episodes, and I'm like, it's going to be over soon, and I'm sad already for the ending. But like, it's spectacular television. It really is, man. It's up there with the best, I think.
Yeah, everyone in it is acting out their fucking arse, man. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love I know that was a weird thing. I just wanted to show it. Like, The Boys is great. I haven't watched Obi-Wan yet, right? You all know I'm not the biggest Star Wars guy, right? But I want to watch Obi-Wan because I love Ewan McGregor.
Hello there.
Exactly. We all love
General
that bit.
Kenobi.
That's everyone's favourite part of the prequels because it's the only good part of the prequels. I was interested to see whether how they would flesh out that kind of shitty story. I generally think the Anakin Skywalker
The
story
prequel kind of stuff.
was kind of fast forwarded to a
It was
point where you didn't
fumbled.
really believe his fall, unless you watched the Clone Wars TV show and all these other things.
Which you
went-
shouldn't really have to do if you're.
Yeah, he went from everyone's best pal to fucking the most evil cunt in the universe in
Well, no, it went from everyone's
13
best.
minutes.
Yeah, it was like everyone's best pal, whiny wee bitch, evil. Dark
I think he was
Lord.
always a whiny wee bitch, though.
What's that? I don't think he
You had a hard
was.
life, mate.
Yeah.
Is that your excuse?
Shut
I
up.
had a hard life. So I'm watching The Boys and Obi-Wan just now. I'm not bothering with Stranger Things because it's shit, and I'm not watching Miss Marvel because there's just too many things on, like Dom was saying.
Yeah.
I will watch Miss Marvel though, because like I'm doing
Yeah.
that thing where like there's a lot of racists hating it, so I just want to like it.
So a lot of racists, I mean, there are a lot of racists hating Obi-Wan as well. It was like,
Yeah, racists hating everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like
I think that character's pretty cool. And
Miss Marvel.
No. Renslayer.
Reva.
Reva.
Like,
Renslayer.
but-
I think the actor's good as well. She's good.
Star Wars fans are the fucking worst. And like if you go, oh, is he talking about me? Probably not if you're not the one that's making all these fucking like comments about how they just how is it always the woman character that gets all the shit?
Yeah.
Like all the black character, like John Boyega got a lot of shit in the sequels. But he was actually really good.
I loved him.
The writing was shit for his
I
character.
don't really like the character, but I've seen him in other things,
They
and I can
completely
see that he
dropped
is a
him.
good actor and stuff like that. But
He had like everyone knows how good John Boyega is as an actor. So when they in the Force Awakens, when they actually had a character arc and it looked interesting, you're like, oh shit, a stormtrooper that maybe they're going to go into how war is really shit on these stormtroopers you don't care about and stuff like that. Dropped that completely.
Yeah.
No one gave a fuck.
it was all about Ray.
It was all about Ray. But that's not Daisy Ridley's fault either. Like,
No.
it annoys me that they go, oh, they're just bad characters, but then go after the actor. It's like the actor didn't fucking write it. They're working with what they're given.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And
the
you
same thing
can-
that's happened with Hayden Christensen as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go at
I mean,
an
he was a
actor.
terrible actor. Come on. You seen Jumper?
Yeah, you fucking. Hold on, how long has that been since Hugh's mentioned jumping on the podcast? it's been a fresh minute.
Did I used to mention
Oh,
Jumper?
you mentioned it all the time.
Every episode, mate.
You used to be like, that's that video game Jumper Man as well that came out. Hayden Christensen. Oh man,
I fucking hated that game. But I played that right to the end for those achievements.
See, you're talking about it again.
But aye,
But yeah, he
I
got-
never thought he was that great an actor, but I never thought he was awful.
The other thing is as well is like if someone came up to you and was like, "Do you want to act in a Star Wars movie?" You'd be like, "Fucking hell yes, of course I do." Like
did not bully the first actor that played Anakin Skywalker out of acting.
the wee kid guy.
Aye, they like Star Wars fans
wee
have got
kid
fucking.
guy, kid
I can't
guy.
remember his name either.
I know who you mean. I don't think he did a whole lot after it. No.
No, because they went after him because they were like, "Oh, Phantom Menace was shit. You're shit.
Aye.
It's your fault." And
You
stuff like that. Like,
child or shit.
aye, like, yeah, I mean, the writing was awful in the Phantom Menace.
Are you
You
an
had
angel?
two of the greatest actors of their generations in fucking Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson,
Liam Neeson,
who struggled their way through that film. See Liam Neeson, see when you see him say some of the things in that film, you're like, he didn't know what that meant. Like,
Nah.
he's just saying these things.
Have you seen like I actually had to show one of the boys in work because he's actually watching through all the Star Wars movies and he was running in and saying like, oh my god, this twist is amazing. And I was like, here, do you need? You finished all the episodes 1 to 3, and I was like, do you want to see something funny? And it's the clip of Qui-Gon Jinn is the worst Jedi, and you just play all these moments. So it's just him trying to do the Jedi mind trick,
yeah.
not working. Him dropping his lightsaber, just being a complete fucking idiot. Yeah, that's a Jedi master for you right there.
He's maybe like one of the most powerful ones as well. He just goes fucking up.
He fucking just gets like stabbed, and that's it. Like, bye.
Aye, and, like there's so many other people who have been stabbed with lightsabers and they're fine. Just a wee bit kind of sore, and it's like he
wasn't
just like
angry
stabbed
enough.
dead.
He wasn't angry.
That's it.
That's
people,
what kept
people
Darth Maul alive. mate.
Aye, just sheer rage.
Aye, absolute
I felt
rage.
that rage. I
Yeah.
played Halo. I'm going to watch Obi-Wan, and I want to watch it with a bit of an open mind. But again, in my head, I'm going to show these racists. I'm going to like this.
I think it kind of, like, obviously Obi-Wan, and he is connected to the prequels and like all the films basically.
Yeah.
But it does feel a wee bit separate from obviously recently we've had like Mandalorian, Boba Fett and stuff like that. It's obviously separate from that, so you don't need to watch that, which is good. The prequels were a while ago now, so
they're the same as Lord of the Rings, weren't they? They came out around the same time.
Must have been about
2005.
So I think it's quite easy to be able to watch this with an open mind, and keep it separate.
I've heard a lot. Like I read a lot of the bullshit that people say, and they're just like, "Oh, Hayden Christensen isn't tall enough. He isn't David Prowse. Who the fuck is David Prowse? Have you ever seen David Prowse?
Yeah,
like he's a giant bodybuilder. No one's going to be that size." But like, you just have to film it in a certain way, and it'll work out. They're just everyone like in Star Wars is a nitpicky.
He's got his
franchise.
heels on, mate. He's just Darth Vader's got his heels on.
Exactly.
There you go. He's big.
And that's how you get tall, innit? You get them insoles.
Yeah, 4 of them.
That was so funny. You turned up one day, like just 6 inches
falling
tall
over. Like a giraffe, like a baby giraffe.
I don't think there's any other TV shows out, is there?
I mean, there's loads of TV shows here. I'm just interested in the ones that you've actually been watching.
I think it wasn't one of yours I watched, and that definitely wasn't. I watched the first season of What We Do in the Shadows again.
All right.
Still fucking like, how good is that show, man?
Yeah, you seen the? I think I put it in the patch chat actually. The
season 4
trailer.
Yeah,
it looks good. I was watching recently, like old school, like very very original Looney Tunes, and it's actually like really really funny, and then it just gets really extremely racist, like completely racist. And there was even an episode, I don't know what, like they're not from DVDs or whatever, but I have this episode, and there's a commentary over it. I don't know if it was like the director or one of the artists or something like that, and he's talking away about so this is actually, you'll see there's actually a wee imperfection here, Bugs started out in this background, and then the camera swaps, and then it's back, and then he's not, and then there'll be like someone in blackface, and he just shuts up, and it's just like, didn't have much to say about this bit, did you? just
shaming that race in the silence,
swerving that one. I can just imagine him sitting watching it like.
We have been still playing Halo. We are shooting ahead with season 2, which.
Shooting ahead, is that an FPS joke or?
It's not that great. Season 2.
There's just not enough new stuff, man.
No, there isn't. I got so raging I broke my headset and had to buy another one, which was an expensive mistake.
Yeah. I mean, you should just go up to 343 and go, you make me break my headset. Fucking get me a new one.
Mate, do you know what it is? It's playing against PC players, and it's very fucking obvious when you're doing it, because there's certain ways that they play. They can play much better than you can.
So salty.
I know, and it's so annoying because you watch the person strafe left and right, exactly left and right, and you're like, I can't do that with a controller. How the fuck are you doing it? And then you go to their profile and there's a wee fucking computer.
Like, get a computer then, Hugh.
It's also just...
I've got one, I just don't want to play it on it.
He's also got aimbots and stuff like that you can be very easily...
You don't want to start going, it's a fucking bot or whatever, because you're like, am I just bad at this game? But like, I'm so wild and inconsistent with it. Like, I'll be like, positive KD, top of the leaderboard, blah blah blah, and then next game I'll be fucking bottom 2 and 17.
Everyone does get proper like rage, and everyone does have good games and bad games. I just thought it was dead funny when we were playing with Jason one night, and he was already in a grumpy mood. Like he said he was hungry and stuff like that. He was hangry. He was proper annoyed, and we're playing like the new. It's basically like kind of capture the hill type thing, King of the Hill type thing, and. He's just like, you guys don't even know how to capture objectives, how to do it. And I looked at the scoreboard, I had like 10 captures and he had 2, and it's like, where are you getting these facts from, Jason? He's like, show up.
Shane was playing with us, a friend of the podcast. Shane was playing.
God, he's awful.
And like, he's so old and forgot how to play Halo over the years for some fucking reason.
I don't know if how you could possibly do that. It's like, how could you forget how to do that?
I don't know how you could possibly call him a friend of the podcast.
We were playing, it was me, Hamish, Jason and Shane, and right, so the game starts off, there's 3 areas, and you have to get
so it's A, B and C. You want to get as many as possible because it's first to 11 captures.
So we were calling out, I'm going to A, I'm going to B. One of you's follow us, so there's 2 and 2.
Aye.
Mate, and I'm like, right, I'm going to B. Right, I'm running, I get to B, right? And I turn around, and all 3 of them are standing at A, and I'm like, fucking cunts, why aren't one of you with me? And they're like, well, you didn't say. I fucking said I was going to be.
Or obviously, like, you know, you need to stay in it for the wee counter to go up to capture it. And, like, there's a guy in it, and Shane's standing there. And it's like, Shane, get in it, or he's going to capture it. Get in it. It's like, I'm in it. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, you're not even in the fucking area. Like, he's so bad, man.
Facing the other way.
I ran into an area, and I was like, why aren't you capturing us? He's like, I'm like, you're outside the box. Like, why are you so bad at this?
He used to be quite decent at it as well, that's the thing. But
that's old
having all those kids.
Yeah.
It's a grandfather now.
Yeah, old man Shane.
Yeah, so Halo's going. It's going. I can't wait till Modern Warfare 2 comes out. Actually, that might be my FPS of the future.
It's wild now you have to, you know, that Halo had such a chance to be basically just dominating the market.
Yes.
And it's let itself go.
Yeah.
The Season 3 will not be out before Call of Duty Modern Warfare
2023 for like when they're saying middle for Season 4, and it's like, you can't just say this is when this is coming out and you're not giving content or giving what people want. They'll just drop off, especially with it being on Game Pass. People like uninstall.
3 to 4 month seasons would be more manageable.
Yeah.
3 would be great. Maybe it's too little time. 4.
I mean, you could have like a 3-month season and only have like 60 levels or something like that.
Yeah.
But they want, you know,
freshen it up.
it's like they want to make people wait a long time, so they make them specifically long so that they have more time. Like,
It still has less maps than Halo 3.
yeah.
It's wild.
And they could just take those kind of maps and put them in.
Yeah.
But speaking of Game Pass, like Fall Guys is on Game Pass, and you can even get wee Master Chief skins and stuff like that. And it's like, stop making DLC for other games. Just work on Halo.
The new TMNT game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, came out. I also
Revenge.
dropped £200 on the collector's edition for that. While drunk.
That's fucking wild, man.
I know, I was thinking about cancelling, but it's very hard to. Like, I need to like send them an email saying, can you please cancel? And that just sounds like a lot of work.
£200 email.
I'm lazy.
I'm not a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan.
I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. See, when I was younger, I was obsessed with them, like to the point where
His father was worried.
yeah, my father's always been
Oh, no,
worried.
I know someone that was obsessed with him. Like, I did watch him, right, and you're just going to say that I liked him because he was a bad guy, but I always liked Shredder because he's badass, let's be honest. He looks cool.
I was lost against 4 turtles.
Uncle Phil fighting the turtles, yeah.
Like magic turtles. I know they're not magic, they're mutated.
They're ninja turtles, Hamish, get it right.
Yeah, mutated ninja turtles. But my cousin, remember the wee pink brain guy, Krang?
Yes.
He loved him so much, he was like, I'm going to call my son Krang. And I'm like 3 years younger than him at this time, and so I'm like 10, no, probably less than that, like 9 or something like that. And he's, you know, a few years older than me.
Did you say 3 years then couldn't put 3 on 9?
Well, no, because I can't remember if he is actually 3, but because I've not seen him in years, because he. Never mind. But even then, when I was
called his son Krang.
Well, he's luckily not had a son yet, and hopefully can't ever because he's a weird guy. But,
okay.
But he was he wanted to call his son Krang, and I was like, that's just weird, man.
That's brilliant.
That's weird.
Did you know that Kevin Nash played Super Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze film?
He pulled both his quads that day.
Oh, mate, he pulled. Like, he actually fell down. It's like, oh,
he
doesn't like that joke.
Somehow managed to pull 3 quads.
Have you ever seen where the guy hit him in the head with a rock? Bash at the beach or whatever it was? He pure chased the guy, but he looked so awkward chasing him because like his knees were blown out like 50 times. And got the guy and he realised the guy was like 15 or something. He was like, this is on TV, like I can't punch you.
Yeah.
But that's really good, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge game. Have you ever played the SNES games?
Yeah, a long time
Turtles
ago.
in Time.
A long time ago.
First time, and there was Hyperstone Heist for the Mega Drive. Like, it's a more updated version of that. It's 5-player as well. We can definitely jump on
because you get the turtles and the lassie, don't you? What's her name
April
again?
O'Neil.
April O'Neil, mate.
April O'Neil.
Megan Fox.
Is it April O'Neil?
Yeah, it's April O'Neil.
As a playable character, I mean.
I don't
think it is.
I don't know.
I think she is.
Splinter.
No, she is.
No, like Carol somebody or something like that? Or Casey Jones?
Casey
Jones, that's who it is. As a playable
Because
Casey Jones.
I always
or
just
something
go
like
fucking Raphael anyway, because he's jacked.
that. What one's it?
Red one?
Alright. Well, he's green, but...
I fucking hate that guy. Have you seen the Michael Bay films?
Nah, I've not actually
He's the
watched them.
turtle that took roids.
Alright, I thought they were all pretty big.
No,
he was on the juice.
He was massive and angry, and I was like, I quite like Raph, man. He's pretty cool. But he was always the hot-headed one. And then, see, when I was younger, everyone loved Michelangelo because he was the funny one that loved pizza.
I thought they all love pizza.
I know, but he loved it more.
Oh,
He loved it the mostest.
Mate, have you ever seen the start of the second film?
I just told you I've not seen the films.
Have you not? Have you not actually?
told you
That's
that.
No. See, if you're about to talk about the cinema bit, you have talked about this story, like with the kids all dancing in the cinema.
Oh no,
You have mentioned that.
no, but there's like a bit where it just shows hundreds of New York pizza, and I swear to God, I've never been so hungry while watching a film. They're like you know how the best part of the pizza sometimes where you like the
lift it
cheese
and then you get
stringy,
the cheese. Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just 5 minutes of that, and you're like, why am I so fucking hungry?
Why do I want pizza?
Why don't they sell pizza in this cinema?
Imagine a vendor
should-
going by me pizza that way.
We should stream that though. Like,
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd
Making
be
pizza? Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
we could do that. Cooking with Hamish.
I'm not a really good cook actually.
I know, but like what we'll do is we'll get you drunk while you're doing it, and it'll get like worse and worse. And
No.
worse.
What I was thinking, he was just going to come in with like a yellow jacket on, and he was like, "Oh, not that type of cooking, right?" So,
Do you know Hamish once cooked me chicken in the microwave? There was
Us, wait,
cooked us
I
chicken,
ate it, though.
and we both ate it, but we're like, this feels raw.
Looks pretty raw as well. Yeah.
I was still ate it. We were very drunk.
Yeah,
Still ate
I
it.
was too drunk. I was like, I thought I was doing the smart thing because I was like, this will be quicker and safer because I can't put, the
I thought
the hob on.
it was chicken char grills. I thought they were pre-cooked
so
then
did I.
frozen.
Yeah, but
No,
no, they're not.
hey, I don't know why you make that face. Tom, we survived.
Yeah, and we're stronger for it.
The alcohol killed the
now
bacteria.
I've got chicken. Now I've got chicken health +2. So I'm like,
I don't know. I got ill of cooked chicken 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
I was
it
absolutely done for like 5 days. Like,
because Jason didn't feel too good because he phoned us up and he was like, "Oh man," because I said to him I was going to jump down and see him for his next 10k, and he's like, "I said, how's it going, man?" He's like, "I'm so glad you didn't come out for that, man, because I was dying."
he ordered a salt and pepper, salt and chili
Thing.
munchie box
Yeah.
Box thing, aye.
from a Chinese, and then like
He said he had 2 things, and he was like,
Ross also had some of it, and he was also very ill.
"Yeah."
Like, I got a separate meal, and I was fine. So I put that in. I was fine, guys.
Apart from a couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago,
had
and
your own
I went
chicken.
out fucking cooked chicken. And it was chewy.
Cooked things can still go off, you know.
It was so weird. Like, I was eating it, and I was like, "This texture's a bit chewy." And then I had another bit, and I was like, "Still chewy."
You eating Wookie?
This Wookie's gone off.
I threw it away. Still got very ill.
Good.
Other than that, I haven't done anything else, Hamish.
Oh,
Buying loads of games.
We've been kind of like swimming and stuff like that.
Yeah,
now
we
and
have been
again.
swimming. Do you know, I totally forgot about that because we've not done it in a couple of weeks. But going swimming's weird when you're older because you always have to
Survive.
Can't just be paddling about. I have to actually pretend that I'm here for exercise.
Yeah. But then it's annoying because like we do like I don't even know if it's the front stroke
Aye.
mostly. And we were in, and it was like just us, and there's these 2 lifeguards, and they're trying to talk to each other, and we're just like slap the water. Like,
know.
the guy was like, "I'll talk to you later on." I was like, "Good, watch me, make sure I don't die."
Like there's a good chance at 20 meters I'm just going to collapse, right?
Like,
So
I'm already like drunk, so
He's like, "I was trying to do night swimming, but they wouldn't allow me out." So I had to start doing day swimming.
it's so weird. The leisure centre here is stuck in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, it's just,
my god,
it's
they
not
still
been
have
updated
all
in
the
a long
stuff
time.
like the mural on the wall with the dinosaurs, and they've still got the really shitty water slide that hurts because they never filled in the fucking joining parts. So every time you just go, "Vdoom, vdoom, vdoom."
it's that old. I'm pretty sure they got those dinosaurs to pose for
Yeah,
that picture. They painted it on. Like,
The wave machine hasn't been on. I don't know if it still works.
No, that's like that was no. They were worried that people would get suspicious of like because of COVID. They were like, "We can't put on the wave machine. People will think of waves and have PTSD." No.
I was talking to my mum about it though because she goes swimming like 4 times a week or something like that, and she was asking the other day if we were still going, and we were just talking about they do a lot of classes and stuff like that, and she was telling me about like there's like a baby one to get them used to swimming and stuff like that, and like they dim the lights and stuff like that and play music and stuff like that. And then she was like, the parents are with them, obviously. And I was like, oh, right, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah. But then I got thinking that it would probably be quite a good idea, like just leave a baby there for an hour and then, because they're meant to be able to float anyway.
Yeah.
And the ones that don't, clearly too weak.
Oh, so what you're saying is natural selection?
Yeah.
Through
Think of how better like the whole world would be if all babies were like subject to like Spartans throwing them to the wolves and stuff like that.
don't think they threw them
Guarantee the
to
world
the
would be
wolves.
better.
You just want to annoy women with a lot of your text, don't you?
Oh no, just
No,
genuinely,
just
like,
babies, I think.
Yeah, all the babies that listen to this podcast, which
Go
how
say
you would
it.
probably describe most of the women that listen to this podcast.
Oh my gosh. Hamish, he threw it out and then he was like, was that too far? Was that too far?
Nah.
There's always a line that we can throw further by. But what about yourself, man? When you were up this week, apart from swimming and endangering babies?
Honestly, not too much else. We went to see Chasing Status as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that because I was also drunk that night.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But I was like at the perfect level of drunk, like where I can remember it. But I was drunk enough to dance about because it's obviously kind of great dancey music, and yeah, it was quite a good night. I wasn't even planning on drinking because I was working the next day, and then I was like walking by. Hugh phoned me, and we were like 20 feet away from each other.
I know. I phoned
I
him.
see you.
Just walked by.
I phoned him. I was like, "Where
Where
are
are
you?"
you?
He's like,
You're both looking
I'm
around,
next to
you're missing
McDonald's,
each
and I was like, "I'm also next to McDonald's." And then like, "Hey, you hang out?" It was too hot though. Like we were meant to walk from where I get dropped off to my house, which is only about 2 miles or something like that. But we got maybe a quarter of the way there and went, "Look, this pub is right here. Let's make camp."
We were like, we'll stop for one, and then we did not stop for one. We stopped for many.
And then Sinead phoned and went, "Where are you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm in the pub with Hamish," because she was also got Chasing Status. And then she went, "You're drinking?" And I was like, "Yes." And she was like, "I also want to drink. I'll be there soon."
Yeah.
It was a good night. We had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, man.
Chasing Status was they're still great.
Aye. But they're putting on like a decent set. So,
Yeah,
and being in a dark environment as well helps.
No problem for me. It is a problem for you.
My Chemical Romance as well. We went to see My Chemical Romance.
Fucking hell!
Oh,
That,
nice.
have we not talked about that?
No, not done that since. That was a good night. It was an expensive night. I spent a good few $100 that night. But
Was that just on drink or just merch and
drink? I bought my friend Sinead a t-shirt and stuff like that because she bought me my ticket. And then
Drink was expensive. Dinner was expensive.
we get dinner before it. So remember when we were in that dinner place, and obviously it's right next to the venue. So there's like just emos and goths and stuff like that. And then I see this lassie, right? It's tall, thin, and she's like kind of got like ripped, like tights, wearing odd socks and stuff like that, and hair's not done very well. And I just kind of lean over at Hugh and I was like, "Look at that, she looks like a hot mess. I love her."
Hamish is tight.
Yeah.
That was the biggest selling gig at the Hydro ever.
Aye.
And the Hydro's like the biggest arena in Scotland.
I think so. Yeah, apart
it's
the biggest,
17,000 or something like that.
Must be, yeah.
because like the SECC was like they were only capped at a certain venue for it. I think it's the biggest indoor, like outdoor.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got like Hampden and stuff like that. But
The Hydro was emos and goths as far as I could see.
Yeah.
There was a lot of blue hair dye, a lot of new rocks, a lot of
Part of me kind of
eyeliner.
thought it was maybe just like the Neds had all came up with a plan to rid Scotland of emos and just got them all into one place and they were going to bomb it, but luckily, no, it was alright.
my seats were right in the middle, all the way at the back, like all the way at the top, at the back.
Like literally the back, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
nobody behind you.
I was leaning on the wall and I was like, these are actually pretty good.
yeah,
And do you know what? Gerard Way can still go, man. He can still go. Still sing pretty well.
Yeah, it was
Played
good.
all the hits, except to not miss one.
It depends what you call a hit.
I know, they played a lot of the old stuff anyway, because
Yeah.
no one gives a fuck about the new stuff.
I mean, they only released the one new song, and that was it. But they even said I even said themselves, it's like I think it kind of felt like the same as like Nine Inch Nails. Okay, let's just do what the fuck
Do you know
we can do.
he's going to buy a house in Scotland because his wife's Scottish? She was a bass player of Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Oh.
Yeah, I had no idea. I think he was going out with someone Scottish. But
Yeah, oh, I didn't know that.
because every time that you go and see a band and they're in Scotland and they always talk about how much they love Scotland and stuff like that, it's like, you tell everyone this. Like,
I know.
you definitely say this to other people, but he does actually have a reason to like Scotland.
He's best pals with Grant Morrison and Mark Miller, like the comic book
comic
guys,
guys,
who live in like the same street in Glasgow. Like if that street ever gets taken out, like we're down like 75% comics.
Lost a lot of our comic book talent. Yeah,
Grant Morrison wrote like All-Star Superman. He's wrote like Superman and Batman and a lot of the MCU stuff. And Mark Miller did Kick-Ass and all that. Like he's done tons, man. A lot of his latest stuff has not been great. The adaptation of Jupiter Rising or something like that.
that thing. Yeah, that was shite.
But like, how was it though? Like jumping about with all the emos and then realizing that You know, you got your old emos, and then you got your new emos.
To be fair, there was like the vast majority of people around me were like my age, or just a wee bit older, even.
Me and Sinead were unlucky. We sat beside cunts, but there was a big bit of space between us, and they were just too. You know, the people that just turned up too drunk. They weren't interested in the fucking show anymore. They were singing their own songs about the IRA and stuff like that.
Wow,
kicking the chairs in front of them, and I was kind of. Like, you like
Hugh should have had words.
Like, do you have words at that fucking steepness?
Yeah.
Or you just leave it?
I would have been like, that's a pretty far drop down there. Shame if someone
I could have Sparta kicked like 10 people down, but like there's you just leave it because it's only an hour anyway.
Yeah, I actually did have words with a guy, like, because we were in seats as well, and there was a guy and a lassie in front of like me and my friend Sinead, and she. My Chemical Romance is like her favourite band.
Yeah.
So she was pure excited.
I can remember her talking about like Black Parade and stuff like that. She was obsessed with it.
Yeah. And so this lassie in front of her stands up and starts dancing, and Sinead can't stand up yet because she's got like 4 drinks in her hands because we just bought loads before we went in. So I could tell she was getting a wee bit kind of annoyed that there's someone in front, but it's that way. I'm not drunk enough to like tap on a lassie's shoulder and be like, sit the fuck down. But then as soon as her boyfriend stood up, I like grabbed him and I was like, tell her to fucking sit down. We were all fine eventually, like kind of explained to him like she's just dead excited, she wants to see it, and he was like, I know, that's why she's standing up. And then ended up we all just stood up eventually, but you know.
You can't just stand up if you all get drinks. You need to drink those drinks and then you can stand up.
That's the thing about being right at the back though. You weren't worried about being in front of someone. Like that's like see standing we went to see Architects, me and Sinead, in the Hydro a couple of weeks, like 2 weeks before it, and the difference in crowd was absolutely fucking weird. Like there was no reason Architects should have played the Hydro. No one was seating, and the standing area was only about maybe half full, and then I went like to see My Chemical Romance and the place was like ram-packed, and I was like, Architects are better than My Chemical Romance.
They didn't need the anywhere near the size.
No.
Also was at a wee barbecue the other day. My brother threw one for Father's Day.
Oh, nice.
And I was walking through the park there just around the corner from my house, and there was a trolley on the bench. You know, obviously someone's taken it from the...
Oh, sorry, I thought it was a barbecue you were describing. It was just a trolley. No. Sorry, I'm like, what kind of barbecue is this?
Jakey barbecue. There's a trolley sitting on the bench, and then I looked over, and you know those swings that you get, and it's just like a big kind of flat bucket thing on like 3 chains, and there's just a guy face down on it, just like not moving, and I'm like, yep, this is my hometown.
Dumbarton, eh?
Yeah.
We had a barbecue through close and that, like a couple of the neighbours were just like, we're going to go out the back and have a wee barbecue, and I was like, oh, that sounds nice, I wonder what it's going to be like. One of the neighbours had just bought like one of those smokers. So it's a proper, like, I'm like, the fuck? He's like, yeah, I spent 300-400 quid on it. Oof. And he's like, I used to be a chef and stuff, and we were like, oh, fucking what are you
Tom's like, what are you cooking, mate?
What are you cooking? I brought it, man. It was just like this pork. Oh, man, it was amazing. And I'm like, fuck, man, I missed the trolleys on the bench, you know, down here.
I know. I missed
still like home. But we did have, like, we were just talking away, and it was about 8:30, 9 o'clock. We're all just like, hey, talking about, and we hear from across, like, because we're outside, someone across it from the other flats going like, people have got to go to sleep tomorrow for work. And we're like, one of the lads is like, it's 9:30. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know, like,
you're like, whoa.
I think the limit to something like that's 10, 10:30.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking.
Start
kind of wrapping up.
I can't wait to quiet it down a wee bit, but we were like, fucking shut up. It's a weekend. It was a Wednesday or something like that. It's a weekend.
See, as soon as the weather gets good, my mum and dad's neighbours must just like know my dad's going to get drunk outside, and you're going to hear Elvis, and you're going to hear him call himself Big Hugh.
Talks to himself in the third person. He's like, Big Hugh doesn't like us.
Big Hugh doesn't go inside. He sits outside with his Bluetooth speaker.
Maximum volume.
How good are barbecues, but
they're so good. And then, do you know, like, you've just literally moved the cooking outdoors.
I think it's just because we can't really do a whole lot outdoors most of the time in Scotland. You know?
Yeah,
like, we don't have the weather for it, so it just feels that extra wee bit special. And like Scottish people do with anything, it's an excuse to drink. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can eat tasty food. So
I had a mate who moved to Australia for a bit, and he said it was awful because like every time it was like 30 degrees. It's every day there. And it'd be like Tuesday night, and he'd be like, "Are we going out? Are we getting drunk? Are we doing this?" And people are like, "No, I'm going home." Like, this
Not
is
even the middle of the week yet.
This is like every day here. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no. Let's go.
Sun's out, guns out,
sun's out,
taps
man.
off.
Aye, taps off. Let's get fucked up. And it's like, well, we get 2 weeks summer here, so like you have to get right on it.
Yeah,
make
You have
most
to
of that time. Yeah.
And you go, remember that one summer? Nah, neither do I. Yes, that's a good summer.
I do remember like there's certain days where the sun was so good, and then we had a really good party, and I remember that is the only memory of that 2 months. I'm like, that was a great day.
That was a good day.
Worth it. Right, I want some news, Hugh. Go through some state of play stuff. Or Xbox stuff.
Dom did state of
Xbox
play. Let him do that
showcase.
first.
Well, let me do that
I'm
first.
Going to Hugh.
Did you not watch the Xbox Bethesda show?
I did.
What did you like from it?
I liked the games.
Do you not think it was good that they said that they were only going to show games that were going to be released in the next 12 months?
Yeah, because there was things that they kind of said beforehand, like, don't expect to see this because it's not soon enough.
Yeah.
It's not like Nintendo fans where you say don't expect this, then they go, okay, so let's expect this.
It's not like Nintendo announcing Metroid Prime 4 in 2017 and then just going, what was that? No, I didn't.
Although, like, Hideo Kojima, though, was just basically kind of like, oh, I'm just going to let you know that I'll let you know in the future. And it's like, why? Just tell us
some of the
about it.
announcements were very strange. That was one. I was like, what the fuck? And the other one was The Rock showing up just to do a product placement for his own energy drink. And then going, here's that Black Adam trailer that is...
No one gives a fuck about.
He's
And
then everyone's like...
got old ties, though, to Microsoft, mate, you know?
Do you know,
That's true.
do you care about Black Adam, the film?
I mean, I'll watch it, but it's not going to be like... I don't feel like it's going to be one of my top 10, exactly.
I mean, like, I didn't know for the longest time that... I thought Black Adam was a bad guy. And then it was like, oh no, they've rewrote him and now he's an anti-hero. I was like, oh.
He was Shazam's, like... Opposite,
yeah. So it's like the reverse Flash kind of, but no, they've reworked him, made him an anti-hero now.
It's probably because they're like, he's the Rock. We don't want him to be too unlikable.
Yeah, do you remember Doom when he was the villain in Doom? Well, we don't want that happening again.
Good. Mate, Doom also had Carl
Urban.
Yeah. This is just a Carl Urban podcast now.
Mate, see if you had a Carl Urban podcast, you'd have a lot of fucking good shit.
Imagine that jawline on that podcast.
The dread jawline. I love it. See just the mouth shape he had in Dread. It was just like just angry. He knew what he was feeling. He was upset and annoyed all the time.
It's because he just put all of his acting from his whole head down his bottom jaw because that's all he had to work with. Mate.
Starfield will have 1,000 planets.
Starfield.
That actually looked quite cool.
Starfield is getting a lot of shit on Twitter from a lot of people, mostly guys who are into the whole PlayStation Xbox rivalry. Idiots.
So just like any exclusive thing.
It doesn't, like, it looks sort of... It's obviously made by Bethesda.
Yeah.
Do you know what their NPCs look kind of fucking weird all the time? People are like, oh, is this next gen power? Is this Xbox Series X power? It kind of looks like Skyrim in space.
Yeah.
No.
Space Rim.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about it because we've already had like Mass Effect and stuff like that, which
I know, but I do like Bethesda RPGs, and I've not played one for a long time. So
also, I know I'm getting old when they say things like, "Oh, it's got 1,000 planets." And I'm like, "Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot, man."
How many hours am I going to have to put in this?
Yes.
I know you're getting old because you look like that.
Thank you, cunt face. Kojima's going to work with Xbox Studios on a game powered by cloud technology.
Yeah.
Well, that's shit.
Yeah.
Cloud technology's crap.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, Hideo. See, unless it's only Endless Free, I don't care.
We got a good amount of Redfall footage.
Redfall.
It actually looks pretty fun, but it also looks like Back 4 Blood and what's that other game? The more popular, better version?
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
But with vampires.
Yeah.
But, I mean, vampires pretty cool.
We'll play it for like...
a minute.
How long did we play Back 4 Blood? About 5 hours or something, so...
I mean, we had fun with that. It just got to a point where it was like, this is boring now.
It was too difficult and you guys sucked, so...
This is just for you, this bit. Persona 3
Portable, I asked the goddamn question.
Persona 4 Golden and Persona 5 Royale.
Royale with cheese.
It's because I think Final Fantasy 15 had a Royale edition, so everything now is just Royale. Like, Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5 Royal are all arriving on Game Pass.
So I was like ecstatic at that news, more just because more people get a chance to play Persona, especially Golden and Persona 5.
Yeah.
Because like, see, especially with having the Royale edition of it, with all the added DLC and stuff, it's great.
Does he say Royale again?
Yeah. I was like, just not reacted to that.
It's because I heard it and I was like,
I was definitely
wait,
trying not to laugh.
what did I hear?
I saw with it, like the P5 Royal Edition having that as well, with like the Akechi stuff's great because they will evolve him a wee bit more with all it's. I mean, I'm just happy that more people get a chance to play it.
Yeah,
especially that it looks like it's coming straight to Game Pass day one when they can. So, is it P3 first? It's Golden first or P3. They've done it in a strange order, but that all means that it's all coming to PC and stuff. So, Persona 5 will be on PC as well. It's great. I'm happy that Atlas are doing stuff like this now.
Kind of strange that they're putting Persona 3 Portable up when FES, the PS2 versions, I think. Yeah. But I think it's maybe because that was the latest version that came out on the PSP.
Yeah.
They're tanking all my collector's items.
Yeah.
Prices. No, I'm kidding on. I'm actually playing Persona 4 Golden on my Vita right now, and I'm like, do I put it off? Nah. Yeah. I can play 100-hour games again, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you played Final Fantasy 15 a good few times, didn't you?
I thought about playing that again today.
But P4 Golden has got, like, great stories in it, and characters. It's so, like, it's got that charm. It's got that, like,
I dropped Persona 5 because I think something else came out, and then it's such... I put so much time in it that I was like, oh shit, I forgot. Yeah. I forgot how to play this game, and it's not going to tell me how to play it again.
See, when you get past all the tutorials of like a big game, but you're not... Like, you've not played it in a long enough time, and you just... it just pure puts me off, and it's like, I don't want to start again, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I had the exact same thing with Horizon. Like, see, when I was doing that Horizon Zero Dawn, like, I kept starting that because I'm like, fuck, I'm going to have to do this again because I don't know how to play this. Fuck, I'm going to... And I'm like...
I've done it with, like, Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Far Cry 6. Like, because the last time I properly played that was when I streamed it. Oh, fuck. And I played, like, a good 4 or 5 hours of it or something. Yeah,
but then it looked fun.
I left it just too long. And the thing is, it's a Far Cry game. It's not difficult to fucking pick up. But I'm also just kind of like, you know... I don't really remember what the fuck was happening. Yeah. I remember Gus Fring looking kind of scary, but that's about it.
Then him emailing you.
He's great now, isn't he, that one?
Aye, yeah.
Persona
3, 4 or 5.
Yes. Persona 5 coming out for the Xbox also gives Nintendo fans hope that will eventually come to the Switch, because that's been a thing for a while now. When's Persona coming to Switch? Because it was released for the PS3. So it could definitely work on the Switch. I'm very surprised that they're coming to Game Pass though, but probably shouldn't be because all the Yakuzas are there as well.
Yeah,
it's just weird. Like, I thought they would do more of this, especially with Square Enix having so many games coming out this year, and they're all PS5 exclusives. Like Final Fantasy 7, not remake. What's the fucking the sequel to that?
Reborn
or something. I fucking hate it. I hate the name. I'm gonna love the game. Final Fantasy 7 Remake was meant to be only a timed exclusive, but is now just an exclusive.
Alright, that's weird. It usually kind of...
Yeah,
I don't know what happened there. There must be a deal between...
Like, obviously, like, Spider-Man's not going to be exclusive anymore.
Yeah, because that's on PC and everything like that.
Like, they're still calling them console exclusives though. Like, because God of War and Horizon and stuff's not on PC, and all the, like...
I think, we're doing stuff like... Mad. Well, I'm happy that I'm doing that is because it gives more people to play these games, and I'm more than happy if you can give it to people that... You know, PC users aren't, they are a big market. Regardless of what you think, a lot of people buy their PCs now, like, say, younger generation for just like Fortnite and any sort of other Battle Royale games. So to give them an option of playing these top range PlayStation games without buying a console, it's perfect. You make so much money off of it.
Same with them going on Game Pass as well, like, because I guarantee you there's plenty of people that have looked at it and thought, kind of looks interesting, don't want to drop any money on it, but...
Do you know how much
I'll pay it for a couple of months, maybe, enjoy it.
Do you know how much it is to buy Persona 3 portable?
$65,492.
I think mine was 140 quid.
Close.
On the PSP. And to buy the PS2 versions, it's like 80 to 100 quid for the PS2 discs. Because they came out in 2008 on the PS2, nobody was buying PS2 games. So, like, this is perfect. They want people to buy Persona 6.
Yeah. So get the hype up. And, yeah. What else? Sea of Thieves. What are you going to call your boat? Ship. Boat ship. Shipboat. You can name your own ship.
Oh, yeah. What would you call it?
Boaty McBoatface or something.
That's what it was called in the demo, wasn't it? When they showed it.
Was it actually?
Yeah, Boaty McBoatface.
I'm not going to call it. I'm not going to play it. So.
What would you call it if you had your own ship in real life, Hugh? A huge disappointment that you are in this podcast.
The SS Megapint.
Nah. The SS Amber Heard.
So you could wreck it?
Yes. Team Ninja, you know Team Ninja, the guys that made like Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I've never seen them. Quite hard to see, but I know them.
Yeah, they're always in the shadows.
They've got a new game coming out called Wolong Fallen Destiny, and it's like set like back in the Three Kingdoms era of China. I don't want to get it wrong. Like
China?
I like Team Ninja stuff, and it's all like sword play stuff.
Yeah,
and the cunts made Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Well, the cunts made Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. They did make 3. 3 was bad.
3 was terrible.
Stylish games, though, aren't they?
Stylish games.
It was stylish at the time.
Obsidian's game Grounded. Remember that?
Yeah,
it's coming out of early access in September.
It's coming out of early access.
Yes.
Right, okay.
And they're making a game called Pentiment, set in 16th century Bavaria. Players will take on a narrative journey through the eyes of journeyman artist Andres Mal. Actually, see this trailer. I actually really enjoyed it. It looks like a cool wee indie type game. Like
it's arty.
It's very arty. People were not happy with Obsidian for that. They wanted Fallout New Vegas remaster. They wanted fucking Outer Worlds 2. Obsidian made Outer Worlds, didn't they?
Outer Worlds, yeah.
Yeah. They wanted big RPG.
Yeah.
They get small arty game.
Well, fuck them.
I don't know that.
Forza's back, Hamish.
This time in Game Pass form.
Well, I think the last couple have been on Game Pass.
No, but this time.
It's
this time also.
It's just called Forza Motorsport.
All right.
Yeah, it's Forza. What are you going to do?
Yeah. If you need that explained to you, then stop listening to our podcast. Nah, I'm kidding.
Actually, download it again and then just listen to this part again. Yep. Thank you.
They'd had a whole big part about Riot Games, like League of Legends and fucking Valorant and the other Riot Games.
Games.
I don't know anything about them. I've never even.
I don't think we don't really care about them.
I played some League.
You're toxic enough for it.
Yeah, I'm just like everyone goes like, God, man, Dom's just the most toxic person we know. I played it a couple of times with Jason.
He's certainly the third.
On the bronze medal.
He's the bronze medalist toxic person in this podcast, to be fair.
You're number one.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, like those types of games, I don't know how it's going to really work on console because it's like you have to have your hotkeys. Basically, it's the same, but Diablo kind of works alright with that, so it could be the same. But
it's doable.
It's on PC and mobile.
Yeah, so they're going to be griefing. It's going to be griefing.
Vin Diesel was also at this event.
Yeah, so he was.
For Ark 2.
Yeah.
I thought that was Vin Diesel.
Ever play Ark?
I did. I played Ark, and then I was trying to get wood, so like I was punching a tree and then I died. It killed me, by me punching it.
Death by nature.
Yeah.
Mate, Justin Roiland's new game was shown off, and it looks really fucking fun. It's called High on Life.
All right.
And your guns are all Justin Roiland characters, and they all talk to you as you're shooting.
See, that kind of sounds fun at first, but it reminds me of remember the South Park game on the N64?
Yeah.
And when you would fire certain things, it would make noises, and it eventually just got fucking irritating.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's not every single time you shoot, because that could be.
But watch the trailer, because I looked at it and I went, that sounds fun. But if you don't like Justin Roiland's sense of humour, you're going to fucking hate it, obviously.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Hollow Knight Silksong was announced to become a Game Pass.
Yep.
But it's not got a release date.
That's not a right wee game.
Hollow Knight's fun.
Yeah. Hollow Knight was really good.
I said it was alright.
No, it was a really good
Metroidvania.
We've decided it was alright.
That's everything that's interesting.
Okay.
All.
I noticed you weren't on that list. Makes sense.
Wait a minute. Why did they put... Alright, Silksong must be coming in the next 12 months, but they don't actually know where in that 12 months.
Yeah.
What are you going to play at all this, Hamish? Persona?
Yeah, I might give it a shot if it's on.
Do you know why you'll hate it?
Because Dom likes
You're
it.
a Japanese high school kid in Japan doing Japanese stuff.
Am I?
And an RPG.
Nani?
The type of game, like, I just don't know. It doesn't, like, not how you play, like, Dark Souls.
Is
like,
it kind of
this in the
similar to like Yakuza, like, a pure grind fest? Like,
No, Yakuza's not grind fest. What are you talking
but I
about?
mean, like all of the getting all like all the achievements and stuff like
Oh,
that.
100%.
Yeah.
Mate, Persona works on a calendar system. You can't go back.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So you just
Shenmue
continue
kinda
days,
style, like,
and it's 100 hours.
right. Okay.
So if you miss something 10 hours into the game, you're not getting it.
That kind of game does annoy me. I've played a few like that in the past, but I like to take my time with games sometimes. And
Yeah. There are guides for these games online where it like tells you what to do with every single step and when to do certain things.
See,
to get
that takes the fun out
that
of it.
ruins the game for me. Like, I've the only time I've ever done stuff like that is for like if I'm like trying to get a particular achievement and I use them for like one mission or whatever.
Aye, if it's like something that I could figure this out in a few hours, or I could just look at a guide and get it in 10 minutes, then I'll look at a guide. But
like,
yeah.
I wouldn't do that for a
Starfield,
game.
I'll probably play.
Starfield, yeah. If it's on Game Pass day one, definitely give it a go. But see if it's just another fucking No Man's Sky and stuff like that. Like, that's what people call it, No Man's Skyrim. Like,
Yeah. Oh, that's much better than, what did I say? Space Rim? Yeah.
Space Rim.
uh,
I mean, that does look fun. I probably won't play it. The only reason why I say that is because as much as like I did like Fallout. I really did like Fallout 4 in New Vegas. Well, I say Fallout 4. I liked Fallout 4 when it was completed.
Yeah.
And I really liked New Vegas. But I don't know, it's still kind of... Todd Howard talks about it, and I don't trust that man. Don't trust that man as far as a throw. As soon as I see him come up on the screen, I'm like, fuck that guy.
he's been just the biggest liar on the planet for a while.
Yeah, he's been... Yeah.
There was a Diablo 4 announcement. There's going to be a Necromancer class.
Oh, that actually looked cool, but yeah.
There was already one in Diablo 3, so it wasn't exactly a big surprise, to be honest. Like,
what about, did you not mention about Cuphead?
No, sorry, it's not on my list.
It's not on the list. Delicious Last Score.
It's the DLC for Cuphead, mate. It's coming. Yeah. I played it on the Switch lately and it didn't run very well. It was not smooth whatsoever.
Nah, it's quite janky.
Is that your excuse for failing miserably at it?
No, my excuse is I'm bad at it, but like the game chugs
just not very
a little bit.
optimised.
And like, do you know what's annoying about that game? You have to be fucking on point. And then if it chugs, you're just like, fuck this.
It doesn't really give you much room for mistakes.
Plus, I don't think the Pro Controller is very good for it. Don't know.
So what's the DLC? Is it like a new island? Or?
I think it's a new island, new character, new stuff to do.
What's the new character called again?
Well, let's see. We've got Cuphead,
Saltbaker?
Mugman, so it'll be...
It's a girl.
No, it's Chalice. It's the Chalice, so it's Miss Chalice. I'm sure her name is. Because she's in the TV show. Because, by the way, the TV show, if you've not watched that, it's pretty good. I was shocked how much...
Miss Chalice, yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked how much fun it was. I was like, it felt very... I think Simon sort of got it nail on the head. It was like, feels like it's like Futurama writers and stuff.
All right, okay.
I've came in and just did like some just like weird bits for it.
I remember looking forward to it, and then it came out, and I just totally forgot about it. So,
but yeah, it's good. It's I really enjoyed it. And the second part of it's coming out soon. That's another Netflix.
Yeah,
like German sort of one. Like,
when Netflix was like, oh, it's well better just releasing it all at one time and binging. And like,
it was every week.
Disney were like, we're not doing that, and like, oh, Disney's not doing that.
Yeah, that is annoying.
That's because they want they released Stranger Things in June, but the second part in July. Because they want that fucking extra month of like
that they've put the money up for, and you're like, fuck you guys.
But that's out at the end of the month. That DLC,
that's cool.
Just cool.
Very good.
It was an okay, like,
Nothing
presentation.
breathtaking.
Nothing like personally, nothing for me really. But I was impressed by they listen to criticism and say like it's only the next 12 months. Because I think they were worried because everyone's like, where's all the fucking games, Xbox? Yeah, and they were like, no, here's all the games.
To be fair, Hugh, if you want breathtaking, just walk up like 3 steps.
That's breathless.
I'll just look in the mirror. Gorgeous.
Just look in the mirror, there's a picture of Keanu Reeves like, I am breathtaking.
Also, the second season of Vinland Saga's out soon, guys.
Was that on there as well, eh?
No, I'm just letting you know because I've been trying to tell you to watch the fucking first season
This
forever.
is the first I've heard of it.
You're a liar.
Do you want to? Is there anything you want to talk about in the Xbox thing? Or
yeah, again, Slime Rancher 2 got announced.
I didn't see Slime Rancher 2. Did I turn it off by that point?
Maybe. Like, it was on that did show up, and I seen the trailer of it, and I went, oh, okay, that looks like, I don't know what it is about that game. It's got some sort of like charm where you just run about. It's like a farming simulator, but you also just suck up these slime and you give them food, and then there's got a story behind it and that as well. I'm like, it's quite grim. It's a bit like Bug Snacks actually, but it's like
they just couldn't bother like modelling actual farm animals. They're just like slime.
But you can like give them certain like foods that they like, and then they give you like orbs, and you can use them, and then if they eat those orbs, they'll change into those animals, and you can. I'm like, that's actually a good sort of farming system. But the second one, I'm like, okay, this might be
like Bug Snacksy, Harvest Moony, but also with like a bit more to it.
And it's coming to Game Pass as well, so it's a case of, do you know what? Nice. You can get it for free.
Yeah.
The current one,
I'll go buy it then.
the first one's out at the moment, and like me and Andrew been sitting just chilling, playing with that, and like good cutesy sort of game. But apart from the Cuphead and a few other ones that they had there, like it's. I don't know, like Bethesda, see now they're under the Microsoft umbrella. They need to make sure they can't have any issues, like big issues like they've had like Skyrims and stuff, because now it's not Bethesda that's going to be held accountable, it's going to be Xbox.
Yeah.
People won't be like, haha, fucking Bethesda, but Xbox, why are you letting this happen under your watch?
Yeah.
So, but
especially
Xbox,
Xbox have more than enough resources that should mean that that kind of thing shouldn't happen.
Yeah. I wonder what Ninja Theory's up to. No, the company that made they make Cinema Sacrifice 2, but they also said they were making an R game.
They're probably doing that then.
No, but they've got an R game coming as well.
What's that one?
I don't know, they haven't said. DMC 2.
Yeah, that's what you want. DMC 2.
I'd love DMC 2.
Like, there's like 5 Devil May Cries at least, mate.
Yeah, at least.
Well, 7?
I said at least. That means,
6?
Possibly
6?
More than.
No, there's mobile ones and stuff.
Do you know what Shin Megami Tensei game I bought?
What one did you buy?
The one that is featuring
Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Yes.
How did you guess that one?
I think it's quite a meme. It's quite a meme, Hamish. Kids like the memes.
Right, Don, would you like to go over the state of play with us?
State of play?
Or in fact, can you give us first just the state of this podcast? What do you think?
Yeah, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, okay, not bad. Right.
That's like 3 higher than Hamish has ever been told before.
So, Dom, state of play.
State of play. So, first thing that they dropped was the heavily guarded, nobody knew it was going to happen, Resident Evil 4 remake. There was a lot of things that were kind of leaked beforehand, and that, like, unfortunately, obviously, like, later on, Last of Us was told that a remake was happening of that. But Resi 4 was, like, the worst kept secret. Like, you obviously knew with the Capcom's RE engine, they were going to just throw everything onto it. When you were playing Resident Evil Village or Resident Evil 8, you could even see with like the merch and stuff, I was like, man, this feels like engine is just made for over the shoulder.
For the most popular game in the Resident Evil series.
And you say you just needs just a wee bit of tweaking and that's it. And it's like, that's all you need. And then obviously that's coming out. I'm happy for it.
Is it exclusive for the GameCube?
But to see that coming out, I was like, okay, great. Finally, like, they can do it. I had played the Steam version, the HD 4K upscaled one they did for the PC, and I was like, it plays well, but you can tell it's aged. Unfortunately, you feel the age of it.
And it's not on a lot of consoles, so you don't really have access.
Yeah, you don't really have access to Resident Evil 4. Like never. No, you're like, man, it's like you're limited. It's limited exclusively on GameCube.
I think it's literally been on everything since it was released.
There's even like a VR version of it.
Yeah, the VR version. Yeah,
there's a version for do you remember don't know if it's a Gizmondo, but it's like a shitty handheld for like
Gizmondo. I've definitely heard Gizmondo, but not,
it's like a pure shit version of Resident Evil 4. Like, why?
Just why not? It's like this. It's the Skyrim before Skyrim.
It's like playing Skyrim on a fridge, mate.
They've also said that there's going to be a PSVR 2 version of it as well.
Yeah, cool.
Which is cool. But then obviously they finally talked about Resident Evil Village getting their DLC finally. Lady Dimitrescu,
obviously.
You can be able to play as her,
you get to play as her. But everyone's like, where's the VR2? Where's the VR2? And there was VR2, and you're like, oh, that scene where she's holding you, and you're like, what is wrong with you?
So you get a B, Lady D?
You get a B, Lady D.
So everyone's just going to be like this, like, can I see my own chest?
Where's a mirror? There it is. But yeah, so there's like DLC come for that, and an over-the-shoulder camera as well,
right.
in the main game. So it's like, you could tell that's what they were doing. So
Capcom have really brought it back the last 5 years.
Cap God, that's back status now.
Street Fighter 6 better be good though.
So that was another one that sort of announced and showed more footage of, and Gale being there. Sorry?
It's coming out soon.
It's out soon, yeah. So they've got to really...
Sounds relative, innit?
Well, it's going to be out this year. They released, they showed Gale looking more grown up and more... So much gel in that hair, you know, just like, watch this. They've really got to pull it back. A lot of fans weren't happy with Street Fighter 5.
It's because it released with no arcade mode.
Yeah, it released bare bones, and then when someone fixed the netcode, well, I'm even talking about this maybe last year, if someone fixed the netcode, went in and fixed it so everyone can play it, they came in and went, no.
Yeah.
Remember that? And people were pissed off at it. Like, they didn't really give that game a chance.
Street
but
Fighter
now,
5 was bad.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of saying, yeah.
But now, Street Fighter 6 is not Sony exclusive. It's out on all platforms. Yeah. So it gives it a better chance to like make money. They've looks like they've got a Street Fighter mode where you run about as a character, and a creative character where you get to fight in the street. Right, okay. And I was like, oh my god, they've actually, as the namesake, oh my god, this is amazing.
Like a Streets of Rage type?
No, it's like you run into. It looks like you run into people on the street, challenge them to fights, and it goes into the Street Fighter side by side. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's kind of like, I'm thinking one of the Tekken games kind of had a similar
Tekken 3, but that was more of a Streets of Rage option.
Because when you ate the chicken on the ground, it went chicken. And you're like, yeah.
Why are you eating this chicken that's in the bin, man?
Hugh did that. You see what happened?
Yeah, just because it's cooked, mate. You should have learned.
No Man's Sky had their PlayStation VR trailer as well, so it looks like it's going to be a good time for that. If you do like that, VR2 is going to be.
That can't be the name of it, can it? VR2.
PSVR2.
I suppose Sony has got a naming convention, and it's just name it the next number.
The next one up, yeah.
Number 2.
Keep it simple.
Again, No Man's Sky. What it's like now, you would couldn't believe what it was like when it first launched this, and so glad that they got a chance to work it. And
I think when it came out and everyone was shouting at that guy, is it Sean Murray or
Sean? Yeah, Sean.
He just kind of like locked the door of the studio and was like, right guys, let's fix it.
Just fix it. Like, just fuck all that. Let's just go down and make this game good. And
I think they had to release it. It was like a contract thing.
Yeah,
I mean that's the same with with Halo Infinite. It had to be released by December, so they're just like, all right, we'll need to cut all of this shit out. We'll need to gut it, and then we'll put it in there eventually.
Add it next time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they have to do that kind of thing, but
yeah, it was a wee shame. But you know what? Better for them just to like take that brunt and then just show game studios that don't do the mistake that we did. And you know what? A lot of studios did listen and not do that.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. Sorry.
Hamish is still.
Oh shit! He's still hurt.
I still say this day that's a great game.
Yeah,
a lot of bugs, but it's a fucking great game. Yeah, great.
Oh, do you know what? I need to jump back into it. I bought it for like, what was it, fucking £5 or whatever. I'm like,
I bought it for a £10 off eBay.
So Horizon got like a huge update as well. So Horizon Forbidden West got like what was it, the 120 frames and updates and stuff, so you could have that in performance mode. But they also showed the VR for Call of the Mountain as well, where it was just like that wee trailer, and you're like, so that's going to be a wee 5-minute. Ooh, this looks pretty. And then that's it.
Or like in the Horizon world kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, right, I guess that's alright, but that would have been nice to have maybe.
What's the DLC, bruv?
Well, that's the DLC still waiting to be announced, isn't it? Not until next year, I think it is. Update, New Game Plus and Ultra Hard Mode. Yeah, that's it. But the update available, but they've not. The DLC was sort of like, it's coming, and it's
yeah. Trust Guerrilla. You know what I mean?
Yeah, give him a wee chance. But then the worst news came out that Spider-Man Remaster was coming for PC because they get Tom Holland face, and you're like, ugh. Fucking Tom
But if it's on
Holland face.
PC, you can mod it to anyone's face, mate.
That's true.
Sony are
Put your own face
milking
in
the
it.
Spider-Man game, aren't they? They're like, hey,
It's a
you
massive
want it
IP,
again?
mate.
Do you want it again?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
It was just like, hey, I'll buy it
It's a
again.
damn good game, mate.
But I mean, like, I'm glad that PC users are getting it. I mean, as I said, God of War, Death Stranding, what else was there? Horizon as well. They all got a chance to go on PC. Like, Jason was so excited to play that because he got a code for Horizon, so he could play it on his PC. And he was like, it's actually pretty good.
The kid doesn't even play his PC.
It's got so much, man. Stray, like Hamish's game of the year.
I sent you that, didn't I? It's about an 8-hour campaign and stuff like that.
Yeah, 19th of July, it's out on PS5.
Not too bad, not far away.
And you get it for free if you've got the PlayStation Extra Premium subscribers.
Did any of you get that?
No.
Did any of you
I fuck?
because I'm going to look at it to just because like the PS1 games have trophies. That's
that's
mate.
kind of interesting.
I know, like because I like all the Tekken games. I don't think all of them. Maybe Tekken 2 and 3 are on it. And I was like, oh, an excuse to play through these old games. Like I don't need an excuse, but
I
like
know what you mean though. Sometimes I won't play an old game because it doesn't have trophies.
I mean driving
which
force
is a bit
behind
silly,
it.
but
I want everyone to know how fucking good I am at Tekken 2.
how much is it again? How much is it a month?
Tekken 2 is 9,999 quid.
Did you see that too?
Yeah, they accidentally put it up for
I saw the
9,999.
picture, but now how much is the highest level of the thing? Like,
I don't know, it's like 20 quid a month. or something.
£20 a month.
Like I'm just guessing because
see, the thing
I
is,
haven't
man,
actually
like
noticed.
I'll go and spend that like willy nilly, no problem, like on anything. Like,
Yeah, true.
but then when I'm like, I don't know, that's a bit steep, but I might consider it. But
The next game that was announced was the Dead Space 4. The Callisto Protocol.
Callisto Protocol, yeah. It's a Dead Space game.
Looks interesting. It looks great though. See, like because it's like you're a prisoner trying to escape
Yeah.
from it. Because again, you still had to be light in the back of it. I'm like, hold on, is that not Isaac? What's going on here?
We're at the point now where people are like doing spiritual successors to games that came out for the 360 and the PS.
Yeah.
The games that they thought were going to be dead, like Dead Space
Yeah.
was a dead franchise. And then
Yeah.
they went, oh, we're redoing it. And everyone's like, oh, fuck, we've just spent all this time doing a successor to it. Fuck, this better be good. Roller Dome, I don't know, like that was the kind of Jet Set Radio shooter kind of
Yeah.
game. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure
I
about
just
this.
want another Jet Set Radio.
It felt very
classic.
flat. Like, unfortunately, to that, I'm from the trailer when I'm remembering it. It's very unmemorable.
yeah,
And then there was Weep Game. Hugh, remember Weep Game?
No, what's Weep Game?
So it was like Infernal Nights. It was the anime dating sim where you had a sword arm and you.
sounds like something he'd be right.
Yeah.
I know, why do I not have a memory of that?
I don't know.
I'll buy that.
Were you drinking watching the state of play?
Probably. I was probably.
He was in a state of play himself. Street Fighter 6, obviously, just talking about that. Capcom really need to be like, okay, let's focus down on that. So that's not out until. Oh, sorry, actually, it's not until next year. But they've got a few characters they've kind of shown off. The style looks great. The music I felt kind of fitted for it. Well, I actually watched this with Angie, and she said it felt like it was quite dated, like with the rap over the top of it. She's like, "That's 2000, Def Jam stuff." I'm like, but I'm like, yeah, but it's been so long since it came back. It's retro. It's cool again. Tunic is out on Game Pass, so they showed this, and I played it, and it's like,
Fox thing.
yeah, it's pretty good. It's very much like Link to the Past. You run about collecting your sword and chopping stuff down.
It does look cool. Yeah.
Season A Letter from the Future, that was a very I don't know how to describe that. It was like a guy with glasses, like story kind of game.
Right.
It's not out until autumn this year, so I'm like, people were trying to say it was like a Shadow Colossus kind. I'm like, where was there was no Colossi about here.
Yeah.
That looks fun. Like there's a weird style with games now where like I'll see the people that can't afford to do like state of the art graphics. They're just going art style then. Like
Rotoscope.
yeah, like, and I enjoy it. Like, who wants every game to look like fucking God of War? Like,
Yeah,
Sure.
of course. Yeah.
And the last, but certainly not least, Final Fantasy 16,
Definitely
where
the
they
least.
showed the summons and stuff and what they were going to do. But what I loved about it, the music behind it, when they were just like, Shiva, Ifrit, I was like, oh.
do you not see the thing on Twitter as well? Where Shiva in 15 was like in a brand pants, like, and then Shiva in this one's like kind of fully covered, and people are like, what the fuck? What the fuck, bro?
Censorship.
Is that not one of the things that they were saying about like April O'Neil as well?
That's
this
smaller.
yeah.
For God's sake. I didn't know that. I'm angry now.
I'm not streaming.
I'm not streaming now, that's it. End the podcast.
So which one do you think was better, State of Play or Xbox Showcase?
PlayStation because it was shorter.
PlayStation because of Final Fantasy 16.
Because they go over and Stray, obviously.
Yeah, like I think PlayStation had a lot more to say with like guaranteed stuff that was coming out. Xbox and Bethesda, like because it was kind of joint at the hip, they were kind of limited what they could do and say. And fuck Todd Howard.
I also think that Xbox didn't have as many established IPs in the lineup. There wasn't
so you don't
Resident
really
Evil,
know.
Final Fantasy, and like stuff like that.
You don't know how Starfield's going to be and stuff like that. Yeah,
Both of them weren't that strong though. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think like E3 this year would have been.
I was just happy that we had something at least, and I wasn't as disappointed. You know, because I set myself up going, I'm not expecting much.
Yeah.
To come out. I was happy. The best part of it was hearing that the Persona games were coming to Xbox.
It's nice to get a wee bit of a hype train going.
Yeah.
I still feel like we're in this pandemic lull though. Like things are coming out, but these big projects are going to be next year.
Because a lot of things don't take just a couple of years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like games and that, they do take quite a while to go through.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, when it comes down to it, you don't want to have a game that, you know, works and a game that's, you know, finished. And the game you don't want to be sold once later on. Is a Direct coming soon? I don't know if a Nintendo
I think
Direct
there is,
coming
yeah. I think there is.
And it was an indie one not so long ago, which just looked kind of fun, but there's a Xenoblade Chronicles one. It's Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I think it's coming out in the same week. Actually, give me a second.
Yeah.
There's like a week where like 3 massive games come out for the Switch.
Yes, in Sonic Frontiers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's wanting to play that. Like,
What about his back ears?
Like, is Sonic done as a 3D franchise?
nah. They just need somebody that knows how to make a Sonic game at Sonic Team that isn't 2D. The problem is like, how do you do that without it being Sonic 06 or...
It's a difficult one to translate into 3D. You know?
Yeah, because Sonic, you know, you've got to go fast. So do you know what you need to do? You know, you can't be like, let's have Sonic levels, because we've done that with Generations. We can't have anything... Like, how do you do that? Just make them slow. Make them got to go normal.
Live Alive, Xenoblade, and Digimon Survive are all releasing in a 7-day period.
Fucking...
And I will play Live Alive. I've got that pre-ordered. Even though I've got a hack Switch, I still want, because I know that game will just not... Like, to buy it physically, you'll probably get a really small run.
Yeah.
So I want it physically. Xenoblade 3.
You want it physically?
Nice.
Not from you.
That's hot.
And Digimon Survive. Do you know what? I heard the Digimon RPGs are really fun.
Yeah, the Digital Champions.
It's a shame I know fucking nothing about Digimon now.
I'll start at the start then.
Jason also got really drunk and asked me to buy the Digimon movie on VHS.
Why does he ask you to buy stuff?
Why does he have a VHS player?
I have an eBay. What?
Does he have a VHS
No,
player?
I do.
Oh, right, okay.
He was like, "Oh no, you have it at your house, so I can come over and we can get drunk and watch it." And I was like, "Why don't you just download it?" And he was like, "Nah, I want it on tape. I want it."
Why?
Because it's the way, like, it's the film he used to fall asleep to every night.
So you'll have one drink and pass it.
Like he always does.
Right, we've just got time for a wee question.
We have a casual question.
We do have a question. I'll give you one guess who it's from.
Is it Mabel?
It is Mabel.
Oh, Mabel.
Thank you for the question, Mabel. It's so you can only choose one game and console for the rest of your life. Go, Hugh, first.
PS2, Final Fantasy 10.
I was hoping for a good answer.
You know what I was going to say? I was going to say like a PlayStation 2 and another game for another console so I could never play anything ever again. No! You know,
That's some Twilight Zone shit.
we had time.
You say stuff like, "Oh, a SNES and a ROM cart," like one of the EverDrive cart.
No wee, yeah.
No cheating.
I mean, obviously, like it does say console because you would pick PC if you could, just because there's a lot more.
Yeah,
options,
you can always upgrade.
Console, I mean, Series X and Witcher 3 gotta be just the amount of time that you can put into that and see the same things. What be you done?
Yeah, I would say. Oh, that's tough.
Bubsy on the PS1.
Bubsy. I'd say PlayStation 1, Tekken 3.
Oh,
Tekken Ball.
Good shout.
Tekken Ball, Tekken Story, Tekken Arcade, and yeah.
I feel like I would get fed up with Tekken eventually, though.
There's so many options in that game. Plus, that game is probably the best fighting game. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, I'd say that's a yeah. I would say that, like, you know, just for one, nostalgia, two, for like replayability. Plus, you get Gong. Everyone loves Gong.
That's true.
That's great. So
that's a good question.
Xbox
Thank you, mate.
Series X. All right, okay.
If she said retro,
yeah, she just said console. Why would you not go with a better one?
Console would you?
What about that?
What game from your early childhood or your teenage years would you want to continue to play forever?
Manhunt.
Manhunt was a fucking
San
great
Andreas.
game. Nah,
I'd have said that.
I played that too much, man.
Play it.
I mean, see, things like Vice City could be a shout, because that was a fucking
Vice City
great
was amazing.
game.
Soundtrack.
I could be looking at that with rose tinted glasses.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know, man.
It's quite tough. Like, I'd say if it was like PlayStation 1, it would be that. PlayStation 2, Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, man,
You know,
I played
like,
that over and over again,
Yeah.
because obviously you could like unlock new stuff. Or maybe something on the N64. N64 was a fucking great console.
Pokemon Stadium. So you could do that like a tongue game constantly.
Yeah.
Or the Clefairy.
Oh my god.
Or like Mario Party, one of the Mario Parties, because you can get your mates round.
Yeah.
You know, it's a decent amount of mini games.
Mario Strikers is a good shout as well for the GameCube.
Yeah. How's a good game?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like if it's one console, one that, yeah, I would definitely.
Tough question, but thank you very much, Mabel. Laura. Right, that wraps us up. I'm not going to ask you what you are looking forward to, because who knows when we're going to get another episode.
Do you know, that's a good shout.
We will try and do more, and we're hoping to do some streams soon.
Yeah.
You know? See that thing that we say at the end of every single podcast?
Yeah, listen to us, hold us accountable this time. Like, hopefully, I'm coming near the end of Horizon, so I can go and do something different. And again, I'm still like, it's okay.
Power through.
It's
okay.
okay.
Do you feel like you're just kind of chugging along now? Like,
Yeah.
Just do the main
to get
missions.
through it?
That's what I've been doing. That's what I've honestly just been doing. Like, I can see that there's a lot of depth to this game, but I'm like, it's not that I don't have time for it. I think it's just that since I've just done back to back from Horizon Zero Dawn
it's
to
too
this,
much of the same.
I mean, yeah. But then I think that's what the issue you'd have if you were playing, like, again, Batman games into Shadow of War.
Yeah,
you'd have that exact same fatigue. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'll go with that. But I've been having some issues with my PC. It keeps cutting out with Streamlabs, so I need to figure out what's going on there.
Streamlabs is just so annoying.
But I think it was just to do with my drivers, so hopefully I've got it sorted now, but I just need to plan a time that I can do it.
Windows updates.
Windows updates. Windows just to go, see that graphics card you got? Doesn't work anymore. Can you tell me how to fix it? Nah.
We don't like it anymore.
We don't
Remember
like
that whole 2-month period where I just couldn't get sound to appear on my stream?
Yeah, he was on mute.
Didn't plug in the microphone.
No, it was sound from the game. You could hear me, and I'd be like, "Oh, this is a fun part." I think it was Spider-Man I was playing or something. It would just be like silence, and I was like, everyone's like, "We can't hear the game." I'm like, I don't know how to fix that.
Probably would have been better just playing it through the speaker and
I know, through the mic.
Just yell, "No, this is good. That's not right. It's Ned."
Spider-Man. That's the song it was playing as well.
Is that the song? Right. You want to say bye after that, Hugh?
Yeah, goodbye everyone. I hope you had a really good time listening to this, and I appreciate how you listen to this. I appreciate it more than any other person that would say this to you as well. Goodbye.
Tom, you want to say goodbye?
What Hugh said, but 2 times over.
Right. I don't think anyone made it to the end, so bye everyone. Fuck you.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?